monitor the
What
comments.
stream? Our stream?
Yes.
I can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
Then they ain't gonna be a face cam for me.
Your camera's not even on the thing anyways.
It's just how it's gonna be.
What's up, guys? Welcome, election night.
Never mind.
I told you we weren't going to argue about that on stream. All right, guys, so our election coverage starts now, and we should have some results coming in 2 minutes. So just stand by. We do have Fox News pulled up on the side. We're going to go to them when we have major developments, but we can't have it up consistently or we'll have some copyright problems. So we got 1 minute to go.
There it is.
Consistently. All right, guys, so most polls have closed. Now we wait for results to come in. And once again, I am monitoring Fox News, so if we have any segments at the board with the election analysis, we're going to go to that. If we have any projections, we're going to go to that. And, of course, towards the end of the night, when we have any kind of concession speeches or whatnot, we will also be covering that. So, Dad, what are you looking for to happen tonight?
Well, I was just going to actually give a prediction on what the final numbers are going to be. In my opinion, I believe Donald Trump will probably have around 61% versus
Really?
Nikki Haley probably going to get like 39%. Yeah, I think so. Well, what are your numbers, you think?
Well, with my prediction I posted earlier today, I gave Trump 54 and Haley 45.
I think Trump's going to win higher than that.
Oh, who's this?
It's fat ass dogs.
I mean, what are your
Oh, what's up,
numbers you
fat
get?
ass dogs? I mean,
Hey,
yeah,
man.
I'm all for it. If Trump can, if he can outperform where I have him, I mean, I'll be thrilled. If he gets over 60%, this whole thing is over with. The primary's over with. Haley's going to have to come out and concede tonight because there will just be no path left for her. Which would be awesome because she's a warmonger. She flip-flops on every single position.
She's a rhino.
Yeah, she's a rhino.
She's an undercover Democrat, dude. That's what she is.
She is.
She
Everyone
is,
who's
100%.
supporting her campaign is either a quote-unquote independent or a Democrat.
Like, literally, she...
And the only people voting for her are people that are the same people back in 2020 that said, I don't like Trump. That's the only reason they're voting for Nikki Haley. Other than that, she has no basis. That's the only reason she has votes.
It's sick.
Or maybe it's because she
Really
has
is.
money.
Well, yeah, she's got all the donors behind her, but that's become a
the Democrat donors.
yeah, like George Soros and what's his name, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg.
The
all those-
Epstein money.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yep.
These people are disgusting.
Ironic, isn't it? They are.
Yeah, that's facts. But in my opinion, I say Haley is an undercover Democrat because let's look at one issue she points at: abortion. She says, "Oh, women should not go to jail for having an abortion." So, are you pro-life or are you not? Because how are you going to enforce it if you're not going to, use the law to enforce it?
Right. And also, how can you call
It's not
yourself?
even that. Most of her issues she covers are like they lean Democrat heavily. Like everything she talks about, like the border, foreign policy, it's all like Democrat lines.
How can you call yourself pro-life when all you want to do is start endless wars and get our people killed for no reason?
Mm-hmm. That's because she's a rhino. She's one of them.
That's all she cares about.
Yeah. But you guys, I gotta say, I was a little alarmed when I looked at some of the exit data from the exit polls. So, if you guys don't know, anybody can vote in the New Hampshire primary. Some states you have to be a registered Republican to vote in the Republican primaries, but they took like the data of everybody who went into the polls today, and I think it was like 45% were Republicans, 43% were independents, and 8% were Democrats. So that means Republicans here are the minority. So that kind of worries me a little bit.
I mean, these voting laws are really destroying our constitutional rights.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Let's be honest,
They have
the
been
residents
for
of
the
New
past few years.
Hampshire should only be voting in this election.
Well, they are, but the thing is, they should only New Hampshire Republicans should be allowed to vote in a Republican primary.
Well,
Yeah, that's sort of like how it should work, but nope, that's not what it is.
I heard Joe Biden is not even on the ballot.
Yeah, he's not. That's a whole complicated thing. So, the Democratic Party.
He doesn't deserve to be on it anyway.
Excuse me. The Democratic Party wanted to move New Hampshire and Iowa to the back and make South Carolina first because they say that they want because South Carolina has more black people, they want minorities to have a bigger say in who the nominee is, but that's a total lie. Biden wanted South Carolina to be first because he got beat real bad in 2020 in Iowa and New Hampshire. So originally, Biden didn't even put his name on the ballot. He didn't register for the primary in New Hampshire. So then Dean Phillips came in and he registered. So then the Biden camp started freaking out because that would be totally embarrassing for an incumbent president to lose any state in a primary. So now they have like a write-in campaign going on for Biden. And I guess last time I checked last night, and he's supposed to win that. They had him at like 60%, but that's still pretty bad. 60% for an incumbent president. He should be getting like 90%.
Well,
yeah, it just goes to show how many people don't like Joe Biden, and the fact his numbers are in the 30s at the moment. Like people are finally realizing, you know what, Donald Trump wasn't a bad guy. Maybe he should have been back in office 4 years ago. Now, well, yeah, he should have been.
and here's the funny part. He's the leader of his party. And he didn't put his name on all 50 states' ballots. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, that's just like total dictatorship. Like he's owed the nomination. That's not how it works. Even if you are the incumbent, you still got to go out and get the vote from the people. You don't just get the nomination. And then they want to
Democrats.
No,
Yeah, and then they don't want to turn around and say Trump is the fascist. I'm sure.
Well,
Joe Biden's the hard
Republicans. They actually use popular vote to vote in who they want for their nominee. But Democrats, they got super delegates to control who can be the nominee and who doesn't.
Yeah, like in Florida, they didn't even allow a primary. They just said Biden's going to be the nominee.
That's ridiculous.
that sounds very socialism.
Yeah, it is.
That doesn't sound right at all.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
and
I
then
don't
everyone
think
wants
we're
to
going to
think,
get
"Oh,
any.
Trump's the fascist."
I don't think we're getting any real results for another hour. Seems like.
In my opinion,
Yeah, that's when they close.
honestly, Biden shouldn't even be running. He shouldn't be running, but at the same time, I want him to run just to make the Democrats look bad.
Well, yeah, he's gonna lose. So I got into an argument with some stupid left winger the other day, and
Oh boy.
this person's convinced that Biden's gonna win. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys this same argument that I gave this idiot. So okay, Trump had everything going against him in 2020, right? He had COVID.
That's fact.
He had the left wing media. Everybody was attacking him. Everything was against him, and just he had all the odds against him. And then Biden came in, somewhat of a popular former vice president, sitting at 52% approval rating. The media sucked him off left and right, and what people don't understand is he barely won in 2020. Yeah, the popular vote was a widespread of 7 points, but if you look at the Electoral College state by state, it was only decided by 43,000 votes across 3 swing states. That's less than 1% in Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin. That's all it would have took to flip those 3 states, and Trump would have been reelected. Fast forward to today. You have the botched withdrawal of Afghanistan. You have inflation. You have the collapse of the economy. And now the final nail in the coffin for Biden is the Israel-Palestine conflict, because now his base has turned on him. Now, the latest approval rating poll that just came out has him at 33%. No incumbent president has ever been reelected at 33%. So he's almost a guaranteed loss. Like, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And I'm going to say this right now, and you know what? A lot of people say, oh, you're sounding very unfair, dogs. You sound very left-leaning or whatever. I'm going to say it right now. If Joe Biden wins, it's rigged. It just proves proves without a doubt the 2020 election was rigged.
Oh, 100%.
If he wins. Because there's just no way.
I mean, think about it.
There's just no way in hell I can see him winning this election.
Well, I don't either.
Well, let me tell you this. Why do you think he's bringing in all these illegals over the border, giving them asylum, giving them citizenship? But you know what he's telling them? He's telling them to vote Biden.
Yeah.
Been people forced to vote for him because he gave them asylum. That's the only reason they can win, by stealing it, just like they did in 2020 with the mail-in ballot bullshit. Oh, over the course of the night, we had a couple million votes just randomly show up. Are you fucking serious? That doesn't make any sense. It's not right.
Yeah, somehow magically 100,000 votes magically showed up in Michigan overnight when Trump was in the lead.
Okay, Dad, remember what I told you? We can't be dropping F-bombs every 5 seconds. We're going to get demonetized.
Yeah, sorry.
And then
That
also,
was the one.
We've got to be careful with the 2020 stuff, because we've had videos taken down in the past for it, so let's just not go into that. All right, so what is your guys' outlook after this if Haley gets blown out? She's consistently saying she's going to stay in the race even if she loses tonight. So do you guys think that's a load of crap, or do you think she's actually going to stay in this for the long haul?
Hey, if she does stay, then I'm sure she's going to drop out within the spring. If she doesn't drop out.
I just don't see, even if she were to win tonight, I don't see where else what other states she could win. So, we just got a bunch of votes in here. It looks like we got some votes from Concord, one of the biggest cities in the state. So, big vote jump for Haley, 745 votes for her, and Trump, 467. So, a 61-38 split. So, just thought I'd give that update. But like I was saying, I don't see how Haley could keep going if she loses tonight, because even if she were to win, she's not on the ballot in Nevada, so she's going to get smoked there. She's losing her own home state by 30 points. That's going to be embarrassing if she loses her own home state by that big of a margin. So I just don't see where her path to victory is beyond New Hampshire. If she were to win New Hampshire, it would still be an uphill climb. But I could see the case to be made that, she won New Hampshire. Now she's got momentum. Now she could possibly win South Carolina. But even that is a big what if and a big leap of faith. And so, guys, we're getting some votes in here now. 53 to 46, Haley with a slight lead. And surprisingly enough, DeSantis has 25 votes. So he has dropped out of the race, and he's still getting some votes. That's interesting. Looks like we've got some votes from Dover, and we got one Trump county on the map. But I'll let you guys go ahead and make the points you guys were going to make.
She does, and to the point of the fact that she should drop out, she doesn't even have one key Republican endorsement. Probably Chris Christie probably endorsed her by now, but let's face the facts. I don't think that's going to be enough.
No, the Republicans hate him. That's not going to do her anything. That's actually going to hurt her, having his endorsement.
Yeah, I mean, name one key Republican endorsement that even means anything right now.
Well, to be fair, she has Governor Sununu, the governor of New Hampshire, and for what it's worth, he is kind of popular in New Hampshire, but it's still not going to be enough to save her, I don't think. I mean, we're going to find out here real soon.
I mean, my thing about Nikki Haley is an immediate red flag should be if she's not winning her home state by a margin, then she really wasn't a good mayor and she won't make a good president. Like, do people not see this? That's
governor?
A huge red flag. If you can't win, governor. Since she was the governor of South Carolina and she's not even winning her own state, that should be a huge red flag. You should really think she's not really suitable for president. She can't even win her own state. So it turns out all her policies she introduced weren't very good for the economy, even though she likes to flaunt that all the time. But
well, Dad, that's a good point, because her big thing is vote for me over Trump because I'm the more electable candidate. If we go with Trump, we're going to lose the election. But if you actually dive into it and look into it a little bit more, she was the first elected governor in 2010. Now, if you guys remember, 2010 was a Republican wave year, and it's arguably one of the best years for the Republican Party, like, of all time. That in 1994. And she barely won. In a deep red state of South Carolina, she almost lost to a Democrat. I think it was like 2 percentage points. So to say that she's some huge winner is just a complete joke. She was supposed to come in second in Iowa, and she didn't even do that. So this whole argument of electability is just complete nonsense.
Yeah, she's not electable. But well, as soon as they get out of the, really liberal areas of New Hampshire, like the bigger cities, and they start getting all the votes from everywhere else, I guarantee you Donald Trump's going to take over. And then Nikki Haley can kiss her dreams of being president goodbye.
Well, so we have 2% of the vote in so far. 50.04% for Haley, 49.35% for Trump. So it's neck and neck. DeSantis with a whopping 35 votes. And it looks like we have 4 counties so far that have filled in for Haley and 2 red counties on the map for Trump. So we might be in for a nail biter here. I mean, I hope we aren't, but who knows?
It's also 2%. Once it starts getting up to like 50 and it's still this close, then it'll start getting nail biting. I think at the current moment,
even if she does win,
a lot of chances for mistake.
Even if she does win, you guys still remember New Hampshire doesn't even have that many electoral votes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it's only like 22 delegates. But it's never really been about the delegates with the first 4 states, because it's more about like momentum. The big states are Florida, Texas, California. That's where a lot of the delegates come from. New Hampshire, this is just like a status thing, really, more than anything else.
I get you. But yeah, our caucus in Michigan, it's supposed to be taking place in late February.
Oh, yeah.
I am super excited.
You're lucky. Yeah, you're one of the early states. Your vote actually matters. But honestly, though, by the time we get to the end of February, I think this thing's going to be done. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Haley will stay in for Super Tuesday. If she stays in, that's the latest she will go. is Super Tuesday. But yeah, me and Psycho Dad are actually going to come to one of the Trump rallies in Michigan come February.
Let's meet.
Yeah, meet us at the rally. We can make a collab video together.
Do you guys know when it is?
Well, it's
when
not
the rallies are.
It's not scheduled yet, but I mean, he will definitely have a rally the week of the primary or caucus. Do you have a caucus or a primary in Michigan? Thought it was a primary.
We have a primary.
Yeah. So he'll have a rally the week of the primary.
Oh, I'm sure he's gonna have like 4 rallies.
Yeah. So we'll definitely, because we're in Wisconsin. So when before the Iowa caucus, we drove a couple hours to Iowa and we did a rally there. And we obviously want to go to all the ones we can, but we weren't going to drive to New Hampshire. It's like 18 hours away.
Yeah, that's.
Here, Kurtzy, I'll DM you my phone number and we can plan it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know
right.
what day? You know the exact day? I know it's the end of February. I don't remember the exact day.
February 27th.
So that's the day after South Carolina. That can't be right. That's a Sunday, isn't it?
I was just looking.
Dad.
I was just looking at it.
We could meet.
It says results. It says Republican primary results are expected on February 27th.
Yeah, so that's a Sunday. But Dad, we could meet up Caden. Oh, that'd be on a Tuesday.
The cycle.
Yeah, so so yeah, that rally would be that week before, so that would probably work out for us.
Yeah, if he does like multiple rallies, let's do one near like Detroit or something.
Whatever he has scheduled.
Wherever he's going,
sure.
we're going.
I'm going. I'm showing up in a suit and everything, dude.
Just make sure you have a MAGA hat on.
Oh, I have 2 MAGA hats.
Oh, good. Me and Psycho Dad have like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I have a white one and a red one.
Oh, same actually.
Oh, you got the white one too?
Yeah, like the OG one from 2016.
I got his 2020 camo one on from 2020.
Oh yeah, Dad has that ugly camel one.
I know.
I want to
4% of
get
the vote is in, and Donald Trump is ahead.
Yeah, so
I want to get a. Okay.
No, go ahead.
I want to get a make Michigan great again hat. They have those.
Designer.
All right, guys. So some more updates on the results. So we have 4% of the vote in now. Trump has taken the lead, 53 to 45. Trump with 6,200 votes to Haley's 5,200 votes. DeSantis with 60. So I assume a lot of this DeSantis vote is like people who voted early before he dropped out. But this is going to be interesting. We've got 5 counties now on the board for Trump, 4 for Haley, so things are starting to tilt in our direction now.
It's just going to keep going up for Donald from here on out. I'm calling it.
How are you?
I am. I mean, if Nikki Haley loses the state, for the benefit of her, she should just drop out. Like, if she just keeps losing to him over and over and over again, she's just going to look like a clown. And if she decides to run again in 2020, people are going to be like, oh, remember what happened in 2024? You were getting clowned all the time. Yeah, we're not going to vote for you now.
Well, I don't think she's ever going to be the nominee. Because what people don't understand is, yeah, she's like she's the second place person now, but that's only because Trump is in the race. When Trump leaves the race, all the Trump people are going to go to DeSantis or Vivek. They're not going to Haley.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And also, Nikki Haley wanting to up the retirement age isn't really helping her in any way, shape, or form. If anything, that's hurting her drastically.
Well, that is inevitable if we're going to save Social Security. But yeah, it does look bad politically.
Oh yeah, that was like one of her main things that she was talking about. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to up the retirement age and this, and this, and this," and it's really not winning over young voters at the end of the day because people are looking at it like, well, "Why are you raising the retirement age?" Like, come on, so I can't have my American dream, and I can only experience 5 years of freedom before I ultimately die. It just doesn't look good on it. But
Well, hold on, guys. I think we might have a segment at the board here.
Hey, Laura, good to see you. Brand new information for our viewers
at the
right now. Our
board.
Fox News
Hope we
voter
don't get a
analysis
copyright.
survey. It has been in touch with more than 1,800 Republican voters there
Oh,
in New Hampshire.
another board.
And so far, here are some of our top findings. When it comes to the top issues for voters on the ground there, it is a very similar
So, Dad, the
story
top
to
issue
Iowa.
in New
It's not the
Hampshire is
economy,
immigration
it
with
was
42%.
immigration. Number one for voters on the ground there.
Second is the economy and
42%
job with
tops the list as the
31%.
most important issue for them facing the country today. Fewer, 31%, feel the
What's the
economy
third
is
one?
the number one problem.
Foreign policy at
Other
8%,
issues, including
abortion
foreign
at
policy and
5%.
abortion, look at that. They fall in the single digits. So why all this worry about immigration?
Well, I mean, at
Well,
the
we
top of
also asked
everyone's
voters
list,
about
it's
that
normally
as well.
immigration.
When it comes
Like,
to immigrants
even
in
in
the US,
Iowa, it was there.
69%
In New
of
Hampshire,
New Hampshire
it was
Republicans
also immigration
feel
again.
immigrants are hurting the country.
I mean, immigration is
28%
seriously a huge
think
problem
that they do
because
more to help.
the people
Next
coming
up, we
across the
also
border
asked
are
that question
militant
about
age, like
U.S.
18 to
involvement
26,
in
27 years of
other
age.
countries,
So,
and what
it,
the appetite
kind
is
of looks
for
like
more or
there's
less
something
involvement.
bigger
As you
at play
can see
here,
here, 52%
say,
of GOP voters want
they're
the
trying
country to take
to
a
undermine America
less
and
active
destroy the country.
role, while
This would be the easiest way to
30%
do it.
think our
You send in a
involvement
bunch of
around the
people,
world
military
should
fighting
stay as
age.
it is.
You
There's
give them asylum
little
so that way
appetite,
no one
as you
can
can
track
see,
them
for
pretty much.
increasing our
And they're
efforts
just basically
around the
sleeping
world.
back during the
That
Cold
number's
War
at
when
16%.
that was going on. But this is
Now,
just
closer
the
to
Cold War
home, when it comes
too.
to family finances,
And
something
inevitably,
everybody
they could
cares
just get
about,
activated, and then
our financial situation.
all of a sudden
On the
America
money
is on
front,
its
just
knees
12%
because
say
of
that they
what
feel like they
happens
are getting
because
ahead in
of
today's
Joe Biden's
economy.
great foreign
Most,
policy
nearly
endeavor.
Right.
I mean,
right.
tell me it doesn't make sense.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, that's arguably people's biggest problems with it. It's not that they're coming here illegally, but it's the fact they're coming here and they're getting everything for free pretty much, and they're getting asylum versus, people who actually did it the legal way before this time period. Like, yeah, it took them years, but eventually they got their citizenship, and that's how it should work. It shouldn't be, oh, you come across the border, here's your citizenship, here's a free phone, here's free house for 6 months. I'm pretty sure they're giving people. That's just not right, and it's not sustainable in this current economy. We're gonna end up having no food for anybody. It's just gonna be like mass starvation. It's just not a realistic idea.
Well, the problem with the immigration thing is we don't have enough immigration judges. So these people come across the border, they're told come back in 4 years for your hearing, and then they're released into the country, and of course they don't come back.
Oh yeah, and that's also another problem. Like, yeah, if they get caught crossing the border, they get their court dates, and the court dates are years away. So it seems to be a problem that there's just not enough people working in ICE to be able to attain this. But then again, I come to this theory, like, why don't they use the National Guard? Most of the time throughout the year, they're not really doing much except like one weekend a month. So you can have the National Guard at every border state, and they can patrol the border, and if they catch anybody, they can instantly send them back across and get them out of here. They don't need to be held somewhere. Just let them up on a plane, be like, all right, you're going back to wherever you came from, bye-bye. Try again. If they catch you again, you're done.
Yeah, so we're at 7% in now. 53 to 46 advantage Trump. I'm still monitoring Fox. We've got really nothing exciting going on there.
Let's see, DeSantis went up a little bit too. That 0.6.
Yeah, and again, that's probably a lot of early vote before he dropped out of the race. I assume nobody that went into the polls today voted for him. That would just make no sense.
I mean, I'd hope not. Holy cow. They just went in today and just still voted for him. Like, he dropped out, so these votes don't mean anything. I don't know. Then again, people did vote for Joe Biden.
Yeah, sadly.
Unfortunately.
Is Dog still with us, or did he check out?
He checked out like probably 5-10 minutes ago when we were talking. I'm sure he'll be back.
I'm sure Neocon will be joining us at some point in the night. So now we have 8% in, 52 to 46. This is going to be a close one. So let's see. I always like to see their live forecast needle. They don't have anything up yet. I guess there's not enough in. But it'll be interesting to see where that needle lands on who's going to win. Really, we have no analytics yet, which is one of the few good things the New York Times does on election day is they have a lot of analytics. But other than that, we call them the failing New York Times for a reason.
Can struggle to keep engagement.
Well, now we wait for more votes to come in.
Well, what was the second highest asked question in New Hampshire? Because the first one was immigration, like you said. The second one was
It wasn't a question. It was their
security,
top
was it?
valued
Or
issue.
pressing concerns.
All right, let's
Yes.
try. Let's try not to talk at the same time. It's really harmful for the viewers. So immigration came in at number
Okay,
one.
then
The economy and jobs number 2, foreign policy number 3, and then abortion was number 4.
well, I think everyone can agree the Bidenomics policy for the economy has been a complete fail across the board.
Oh,
And
definitely.
Great Green New Deal has been a colossal failure.
Well,
I mean, their bragging right is
the
Sorry,
Green
go
New
ahead.
Deal that's never actually passed. That's just an idea. I mean, it's a bad idea, but it hasn't actually been made into law. Unless you're counting the Inflation
thank goodness
Reduction
for that,
Act,
but
but that really wasn't the Green New Deal.
no.
And
I mean, starting out inflation.
go ahead.
Go.
Go.
You sure?
Yep.
All right. So when Joe Biden took over, inflation was really, really low at, what was it, 3.2%? And then over the course of the year, it's just been rising and rising and rising. And the oil reserves were full. And then when Joe Biden took over, inflation just started going through the roof because they started axing everything. Everything good Trump did. He said, nope, we're going to struggle because I like to have pain and suffering. And now inflation starts going down a little bit, and Joe Biden celebrating it like that's a huge accomplishment. Like, no, inflation was already low when you took over. You raised it astronomically, and now you think you've done something by bringing it down a couple percentage points when it was already low to begin with, but you decided to destroy it in the process. But that's not anything to celebrate. And your Bidenomics is a scam, and if you want to put electric cars everywhere, you need to overhaul the power grid first. Otherwise, there's going to be rolling blackouts in everybody's houses, and it's not sustainable. And not to mention, I don't know if anyone's seen the video of electric cars when it's in freezing conditions, but the cars don't charge when it gets below a certain temperature. So you're going to be sitting there for probably almost half the day to charge your vehicle to go across town. And until they can work out that problem and overhaul the power grid to be able to sustain it, you cannot have everyone driving an electric car. It's just not a possible idea.
Well, yeah, I agree. But a lot of people seem to really like Tesla.
I mean, yeah, you can like the Tesla cars. I mean, I think that the Roadster, it's a nice looking car, but it's also very expensive. I'm pretty sure a Model S Roadster runs you like $60,000, and the equivalent to a Model S Roadster would be like a Toyota Camry almost. And the Camry is like half the price, and it also runs on gasoline. And it gets more MPGs. I guarantee you a full tank of gas on the Camry will get you more than a full charge on the Tesla. But yeah, the Model S Roadster, it's a nice car, but it's just not practical.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But in other words, I want to just let our viewers know that the map that you're looking at on screen is not a county map. So New Hampshire is weird, and they don't do it county by county. They report their votes through actual towns and cities. So you're looking at a map of cities and towns, not a county map. just so we're all clear on that and you know what you're looking at.
Well, then what do you think about the economy?
Well, I mean, it's not good. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, obviously it's not good.
But I mean, to be honest though, some of the numbers are good, but that doesn't matter to people when they go to the grocery store and they're paying double what they were paying in 2019 and 2018. But if it's weird. The economy transformed really after COVID. A lot of people just said screw it. A lot of people retired. A lot of people who were working like crappy dead end jobs, they got that little COVID break and they realized, you know what, I don't want to do that job anymore. It's worthless. It's a waste of my time. And a lot of people never went back. So now we're dealing with an economy where we can't get enough people to fill these jobs. It was really bad in 2021. I don't remember if you guys remember that. I sure do. Nobody was going to work anywhere. I mean, I remember we went to Applebee's for dinner one night and they didn't even they had one guy cooking and one person serving the food. So the only thing they would even serve us were appetizers. That was just a wild time. So now we're at a point where we have low unemployment and all these open jobs that nobody wants to work because they're all crappy jobs. I mean, but to be fair, who wants to be a freaking cook at McDonald's?
Yeah, no kidding.
A lot of those people who were working those dead-end jobs, they got the COVID break and they got away from it and said, okay, that's an awful job. And now those are the people now that do like Uber and like DoorDash and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, yeah, like you said, if you're like working as a cook at McDonald's, just like slaving away at that grill, and then you find out DoorDash, pretty much you work for yourself, you work your own hours, and you still get paid. Same with Uber. You decide when to clock in and clock out. So most of the people that are working that were like, you know what, I'm gonna work for this multinational chain when I'm not getting paid as well to do it. So most of those people just went to go do Uber and like DoorDash and all that. But if you're in their situation, wouldn't you? I mean, you're working for yourself. You decide your own hours, and as long as you work enough hours to afford everything you want, then you're good. You don't have to work for McDonald's or Taco Bell or any like low-end tier jobs.
Right.
But then again, if they want people to start working at those places, they need to like actually start providing more incentive. Like if they want to keep complaining that, oh, no one's working here, well, why don't you try incentivizing people to come work here? Like, why don't you start increasing the pay for some certain positions, like stuff like that? If you're so desperate for working people, then you got to incentivize people to come to you. That's just how the world works. The world runs on money. If you ain't making the money to do the work, you're not going to go do it.
Right. So I guess we can do a quick update here. So now we have 12% of the vote in. Trump 53, Haley 46, and as I was speaking, we got another vote dump.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back. So it looks like Ryan Binkley has 6 votes. Remember him from Iowa? He surpassed Christie and Asa Hutchinson. It'll be interesting to see where he finishes because technically he is still a declared candidate. He's the only one other than Trump and Haley, so it'll be interesting to see where he finishes tonight. DeSantis with 219 votes. Let's see if they have any analytics for the projection needle. Nope, still nothing. I'm sure we'll get that here momentarily. So yeah, what do you guys think? Were you guys expecting it to be this close at this point in the night?
I'm not surprised Trump's in the head. I'm not surprised Trump's in the head in the least. I think he could possibly finish strong tonight. I don't think it's that close because let's be honest, a lot of people that weren't gonna let's be honest here, Ron DeSantis, if he still stayed in the race, I'm sure he would have gotten second place ahead of Haley.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I could have seen him doing better than what people were giving him credit for. He was polling at like 6 or 7. I could have seen him maybe finishing around 11 or 12.
Yeah, no, he just had, as far as I'm concerned, I just checked it a while ago, and apparently, I'm sorry, let me recheck this. And apparently he has 9 delegates, and Nikki Haley only has 8.
Yeah, they were neck and neck in Iowa, and Iowa awards their delegates proportionally, so he got the slight edge there.
Yeah, so he did win second place in Iowa.
With New Hampshire, you have to have 10% to qualify for delegates. So DeSantis was on the edge of like not even getting any delegates from New Hampshire. So I think that was a part of the reason why he dropped out.
Honestly, he should. Honestly, he should have. Honestly, I think Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, they really ruined. I mean, not ruined per se, but they really damaged their political careers by running.
I mean, yeah, they should have known better. They should have just waited till 2028. They knew Trump was running. I guess.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah, and
Somebody got in their ear and told them that they had a chance to win, but they never did.
Okay. You want to know who is just as annoying as the Democrats?
Who?
The libertarians. Have you ever argued with a libertarian?
No, but typically they tend to lean more to the right, don't they?
Well, yeah, but I know this one supposedly libertarian guy, and he was voting for Ron DeSantis, but I'm like, dude, you do realize, Ron, you do realize by supporting a Republican candidate, it kind of like contradicts your views as a libertarian.
Well, typically they do
Because,
vote for
I mean,
Republicans, though.
They do, yeah. I get what you mean. They more than often lean right. I get that, but a lot of libertarians, they need to quit fence sitting and vote Republican. That's just me.
Yeah, they do, because not voting is a vote for the Democrats, and the Democrats do not stand with libertarians.
No, they don't. Democrats want big government.
Yeah, and they want all their crazy communist views pushed on kids in school.
Yeah, and we don't want Marxism in this country.
That's what they're trying to do.
Let me ask you something. Do you guys know what socialism is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and I want you to agree or disagree with me if I ask you this, because I have I have my self-made definition of socialism. Socialism is the destruction of private property.
Yeah, that
Agree
sounds
or
about
disagree?
right.
I mean, that's the basis of socialism. The government owns anything, you own nothing. Socialism, technically, is what you just described as the basis of it.
Yeah, the government owns everything, dude. And that's what the Democrats want, man.
Because they're
What?
sick people.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, man, and we need to stick up for our constitutional rights, man. The Constitution is the Constitution. Nobody should be able to mess with it.
Yeah, damn right.
And yeah, the Democrats are trying so hard to destroy it.
If it were up to them, they'd rip it into shreds.
Yeah, because
I
let's
guarantee
be
they'd
honest.
burn it on Inauguration Day if they have the chance to.
Let's be honest.
They don't stand up for those
A majority of Democrats are just anti-constitutional.
That's the whole basis
And
of their party.
Yeah, it's the whole basis of their party. Is they want to destroy the Constitution. They want to destroy the Second Amendment. They want to.
and push
They
their
wanna-
disgusting ideas.
Yeah, dude. I mean, hey. I'm just sick and tired of it, man. We need to change that. And let's be honest, it's not the old Democrat Party back in the 50s where they were kind of normal, but you know what I mean.
Right, like the
Yeah,
Democrat.
they're
We're not dealing with the
basically modern-day
Democratic Party
communists.
of the 80s and 90s where we were just debating government spending and taxes. Now we're debating whether or not a man is a woman and a woman is a man, and whether or not women should be in men's sports. So that's where the party is at now, which is just ridiculous.
It should have
I mean, back
never
in the
happened.
I mean, back in the early 2000s, they had the right ideas. They
Hold on,
wanted
guys.
to pull out of Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay, what?
We have a segment with. Oh, hold on. Never mind. I guess they're going to commercial break. Finish your point. When they come back, they're going to do the analytics board.
But anyway, my point is, in the early 2000s, the Democratic Party wasn't as radical as it is today.
Well, yeah,
I mean, they
gone
stood
off
for issues
They
that-
just jumped off a left-wing cliff.
Right? Right? I mean, and you can thank Obama for that.
Yup. It all started with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that started all the race baiting in the party. He's the one who started all this SJW bullshit. I mean, he's pretty much turned the Democratic Party into what it is today.
Yeah, DEI, the biggest joke ever.
It's disgusting.
Him and
It is.
Michael need to be put in prison.
Michael. Who's Michael?
His wife.
Oh.
What, you don't know Michelle Obama? You don't know Michelle Obama's a man?
Michael Obama.
Yeah, Michael Obama.
Yeah, that's funny as
He
well.
should be tried for treason.
Yeah, he's.
I mean, come
Same
on.
with the Clintons and the Bidens.
Yeah, true. And the Bushes.
Oh yeah.
Bush family, even though
Yeah,
they're
them
Republican,
too.
they're dirty some dirty people, man.
Yeah, along with the Cheneys.
Oh yeah.
Cheney. Oh man.
I
Yeah,
mean, let's
family
be
tree.
honest.
Get
The
him out.
Republican Party in the early 2000s just sucked.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they had a lot of bad people.
The only thing Bush did
No,
good was the tax cuts from 2001 and 2003 and appointing Justice Alito to the Supreme Court. That's all he did good. He messed up with appointing Chief Justice Roberts because he's been a disaster. He just completely the whole Iraq thing was a complete just mess. Everything, the Great Recession, it was just a disaster.
Yeah, but Bush did honestly. And look, you know why the Republican Party was horrible then? It's because it was
Oh,
ran
yeah.
by neocons. It wasn't ran by true conservatives.
Yeah. Neocons. I
Oh
tell
man,
ya.
neocons.
Yeah, I mean, there's things that a lot of Democrats will get wrong, okay? Or they just don't know. There's a difference between a conservative and a neocon. I would say Trump is probably the most conservative president we've had since Calvin Coolidge.
Calvin Coolidge was a good president. He balanced the budget every year of his presidency.
Yep, and he gave citizenship to all Native Americans.
What a guy. He wasn't
Well,
elected
sounds like
president
we need
originally. He
someone
was the
like
vice
him, man.
president, and then that he died, and then he was sworn in as the president.
Yeah, Warren G. Hart. Yeah, he served the 2 terms, and then he served the 2 years that were left in Warren's presidency, and then he ran for his own term and won that. This may be some of you maybe think this is weak-minded or something, but Calvin Coolidge is actually my favorite president of all time.
He's definitely one of the best Republican presidents. I'll say that. Him and
He's my-
Eisenhower.
Yeah, I would say Eisenhower's number 2 for me.
He also balanced the budget.
And created the highways.
True.
Oh my! I mean, hey, he was a god. He was a gift from God.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah, no. Honestly, I got an idea for a video if you guys are ever down, or a live stream.
What's that?
How about we come up with 4 picks, okay? 4 picks, and we discuss who should be Trump's vice president, and all 3 of us can come up with 4 people from each of us
You know,
and give our reason why.
I originally thought it was going to be Elise Stefanik or Christy No, but now I'm starting to think it might be Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, they've been together the last few nights, and then Trump last night at his rally said she's going to be running for something real soon. So I don't know what else that could mean.
You think he's picking Marjorie over Christy?
Well, just with what I've been seeing the last couple of days, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if that'd be the best pick electorally for him.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think Marjorie Taylor's a little bit too. I like Marjorie Taylor. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think she has the experience for the vice presidency. And honestly, she should just run for Senate.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd be able to win in Georgia though, with how bad Atlanta's been getting.
Drags the whole state down Atlanta.
The only way for a
George...
Republican to win is to be like real center of the road.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since we lost Georgia in 2018 or 17.
It was 2020.
I think it was. Oh yeah. That governor election was ridiculous.
Well, they have the governorship in Georgia. It's the Senate seats are both Democratic.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised Georgia turned blue.
All right, guys. So we have 16% of the vote in now, and we're at 53% for Trump, 45% for Haley. Trump's got 26,000 votes. Haley's got 22,000 votes. And the city by city map is like evenly turquoise and red. Haley is, of course, the turquoise. Trump is the red. So I guess we'll just keep waiting for more results. I'm waiting for them to pull up the analytics board because that's always fun to watch. And we got Chris Christie with 29 votes, Binkley with 12, DeSantis with 327, Vivek has 8, Pence has 8, Burgum with 6, and then a bunch of no-namers. The thing about New Hampshire is you can pay like the Secretary of State $100 and just get your name on the ballot, like no matter who you are. So you're gonna have like a ton of people on, and you got 37 write-ins. I'm actually gonna pull up the Democratic primary because that's also something we want to keep an eye on. And the final polls are gonna close in 11 minutes. You guys.
Who would vote for Pence?
That's a good question.
A clueless person.
I would love to meet a Pence voter and ask them why.
Well, there's some people that just think because he was the vice president and he's conservative that he deserves something.
Or did you ever think that Democrats are voting in the Republican primary?
Oh yeah, 8%.
Oh, they are. Look at Nikki Haley.
Yeah, 8%.
Maybe they're just doing
8% of the exit polls today for the Republican primary were people who identified as Democrats. So, and I do have an update on the Democratic side. So, 25% reporting, and the unprocessed write-in votes, which is Biden, 74%, 15,000 votes. Dean Phillips is at 21%. So, I mean, I was probably right. Biden's probably going to win this easily, but we'll keep checking it as the night goes on.
Man, look, you know Biden's the oldest president in American history, right?
Yes.
And if he wins re-election, he's gonna more than likely in office. So so far this time you're destroying the country.
He's gonna be 86 by the time he gets out.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
If he wins another term.
Look at him now.
I know. He's 81 now. I think he's 81 or 82 now.
He's 81.
Yeah, that's too old to be president.
If he were to serve another full term, he'd be 86 by the time he left.
Yeah, that'd be yeah, I don't think anybody wants that.
He's not gonna make it.
No chance in hell.
All right, hey, will you guys talk for a minute about like anything? I just got to go to the bathroom real quick.
All right. Yo, Psycho Dad, you there? Oh, Psycho Dad's muted. We'll just wait for Kurtzy to come back or Psycho Dad and get a conversation started. Amazing. Hope you all had a good Martin Luther King Day. I sure did. But yeah, these Trump rallies are going to be freaking awesome. I can't wait to go to them. Oh, man. I went to my first one, like, not last year, but the year before. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, seeing a president in IRL is probably the most powerful thing you can do. I mean, there's some powerful motherfuckers, like, fucking having their security around at all times and shit. Like, goddamn. Imagine that. Imagine going through that bullshit. Psycho Dad, you there? Oh, great. Oh, great. He's not mute. He's muted. Hey, you
I
there?
said I was going to the bathroom. Yeah, I said I was going to the bathroom. Did you guys not hear
Oh,
me?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, Kurtzy had to go,
Guys, what were you guys?
Kurtzy had to go use the bathroom. I think you gotta go, I think you gotta break his Xbox for it.
Oh, I might have to.
Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, we could talk about the Democrats and their Second Amendment views, which, I mean, in my honest opinion, if you look at any Democrat-run
All right,
state,
hold on,
they
guys,
have the
hold
worst
on.
gun violence.
And you moved down here to Hillsborough County, Laura. This is right along the border with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It's the largest.
We got the
most populated
analytics
county
board
in the
going
state.
right now.
1 out of 10, 30% of the state population
What's it
here.
say?
Donald Trump with an 11-point edge there in Hillsborough County. His campaign's going to like that or not. We were looking at some of the individual towns right now, trying to find out where Nikki Haley right now is showing some strength. The capital city of Concord in Merrimack County.
I'm waiting.
There are some numbers coming back favorable to her in that town. Concord is the third largest city in the state of New Hampshire.
the stream's
If I could just pop
behind
out
you,
here for a moment and just trying to gauge. These numbers kind of flip right now, Laura, and sometimes they change quickly without noticing. So we'll keep a track of that. There is another race happening tonight, right? There are 22 delegates on the line in the Republican race. There are 0 delegates on the line in the Democratic race.
So Biden's got 59%.
Here's what's happening right now, and this is how we're tabulating this.
Dean has
We've
21.
had our voter analysis team out in New Hampshire for 7 days.
Damn.
Trying to figure out what the strength is for Joe Biden. He is
I imagine
not
Dean just
but
blows
there
by
are 21
that, though,
Democrats
which
who
is
are on the
unlikely,
ballot.
but
If you support Joe Biden and you're a Democrat or undeclared independent, and you show up at the polling station,
You know what would be
you
a
have
better
to physically
election?
write in Joe Biden's name. We believe,
If,
among the
Robert-
votes tabulated so far,
Robert
that Joe Biden is
if
just shy
RFK
of
Jr.
60%
actually won the primary.
compared with the other 21 candidates, including Dean Phillips,
That would
and
be
Mary Williams,
insane.
and some of the better known there.
Well,
Here's
let's
the
listen to this,
process,
guys.
Laura. When you write in a name and you submit that ballot, it's considered unprocessed. But in each community, in each town, in each county, once that name is confirmed, it's moved to the process section. As of right now, we have just flipped again here, 13,262 processed ballots for Joe Biden. That's the way we're tabulating this tonight. I'm going to go back to you in a second, but let me just flip it back to the Republican side, just where we were, 17%. Too early to call. A difference of about 9.4 percentage points between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. A couple minutes away, they'll all be closed, Laura. Back to you now.
Wow. Bill,
All right,
thank you so much.
we're going to come back to the New York Times now. So that was Bill Hemmer. He gave us some good analytics. We've got about 5 minutes before the final polls close. We got 18% of the vote in, Trump 54, Haley 44. So now I'm going to go ahead and put to bed one of what I just heard. And you guys got to move past this RFK Jr. hype. I don't know where this is coming from, but he's not at all conservative. I hope you guys know that. The only thing he said...
No, I know that.
Well, I mean, I've heard both of you guys say this separately, like, not just right now. Like, he's a left-wing freak. The only thing he has said that's appealing to right-wingers is he's against vaccines. That's it. Every policy he's ever had throughout his entire life has been a far-left, crazy position. So... And I don't know if you guys have ever heard him talk. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
I've heard him talk.
It's unbearable to listen to. So we don't want him anywhere near this election. And if he comes in November as a third-party candidate and blows it for Trump, we're going to have a serious problem with him. So we've got to squash this narrative right now amongst ourselves, amongst Republicans, that he's some kind of alternative, because he's not.
No,
Okay.
the alternate to the election is death. Like, the America won't exist if Trump does not win this year.
I get you. I mean, the Kennedys have been Democrat for a very long time.
Yeah, the last Kennedy that was a Democrat was actually a good one, and they didn't like that.
Yeah.
You're right, man. I mean, hey.
If I'm not mistaken, JFK had the highest approval rating out of any president. If I'm not mistaken, it was roughly 77%, I think.
Very long time.
Yeah, JFK, he wasn't a bad president.
No, he wasn't. He was trying to avoid war during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and that was the main reason the CIA hired Lee Harvey Oswald. But best not to get into conspiracies, considering. But if we want to discuss that, we can discuss it after the stream.
Honestly, I've never believed in them, but okay.
With the CIA.
No, the whole like idea that it was a setup.
Well, after the stream, we can discuss it if you want to go more in depth on it.
All right.
Yeah, we don't want to get struck.
Yeah, God forbid you say anything.
Let's see if they have the needle up now. And still no needle. Oh,
Well-
wait, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. All right, so chance of winning.
He's saying,
Guys, this live forecast needle, I don't think I've ever seen a time where this needle was wrong. And I've been covering elections for a while, and I've never seen it been wrong. Maybe it has, but so chance of winning, pretty likely Trump, 92% chance. So estimated margin, they're estimating Trump plus 12. So that's going to be interesting to see where it lands. Now we're getting a lot of votes coming in from the southeast part of the state, and it is red. That's good news for Trump.
well.
The final polls are closing in 1 minute exactly.
Well, if those needles are right and Trump wins by plus 12, then it would be pretty close to what I said at the start.
What did you say at the start?
61 to 47, I think. Or no, not 47, 38, I think I said.
Well, so far I'm right on the money. He's at 54%. That's exactly what I had him finishing with.
Well, the night is still... We're not even a fifth of the way through, so, his numbers could start going up.
Well, we're inching it on a fifth of the vote in, so
Yeah, 2%, right?
18%.
Yeah, 2% away is what I meant.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, so the
should we
final
discuss-
polls have closed now in New Hampshire, so now we wait. So what were you going to say, Dad?
The Democrats' view on the Second Amendment, how all they want to do is destroy it. But like I was saying, if you look at these far left states and their gun violence is like off the charts, and they have some of the strictest gun control laws. So it appears that when Democrats say they want to ban certain classifications of weapons, it doesn't do anything besides taking away from the law-abiding citizen. Like their argument on gun control is completely backwards. They just want to take away from the people that are actually not breaking the law. And if they do inevitably take it away, which I don't think would ever happen, you're just making the common citizen defenseless.
Yeah, so I can get into that in just a second. So we're update on the Democratic side. Biden's at 73%. And Fox News has just called it. He is projected to win. So let's listen to that real quick.
Hampshire and the Fox News decision desk can project that President Joe Biden will win the Democratic primary here in the Granite State.
And remember, Biden's voters had to write in his name today because of a dispute between the DNC and New Hampshire over which state should go first. And he defeats rivals, including Representative Dean Phillips, the Minnesota congressman, who is likely to finish in double digits, maybe upper double digits. We'll see. He entered the race calling for a new generation of leaders.
And it's a symbolic victory because of this dispute about the order of the primaries. There are no delegates that are on the line tonight for the Democrats.
And so we want to update about the Republican race where we can characterize it. The Fox News decision desk believes former President Donald Trump has a solid lead in the Republican primary. Former Governor Nikki Haley appears to be running a somewhat closer race than some recent surveys showed going in. And that's where we are tonight. It's too early to call this race as of this hour.
Okay, so you're saying that...
All right, so Biden declared winner of the New Hampshire primary. Dean Phillips finishing with, well, not finishing with, but he's currently getting 21% of the vote. Marianne is getting 4.5. So I guess that puts to rest any kind of Dean Phillips upset, and more than likely Biden's going to be the nominee. So we can probably just stop talking about that conversation. But you had brought up the Second Amendment. So here's how they would do it. Like, everybody says the Democrats want to take away our guns, but nobody actually understands how they would do it. So Biden or any Democrat just can't come into office as the president and say, okay, the Second Amendment's done. That's not how it works. So the first way they would do it is they would have to pass a new amendment to ban guns, which would never happen because you need 2/3 of both chambers of Congress and 3/4 of all state legislatures in the country, which would never happen. But hold on a second, because we have more analytics here.
And you follow those tracking polls for the last week. It was really strong in those numbers. And does he hit that or not? That's
Are you
a big
guys
question
gun
right
owners?
now. You got 17% of the vote in.
I own 7 firearms.
Too early to call. And right now, the vote difference here.
Hey,
puts
if you guys
Trump
ever want
up
to go
9
to the, if
percentage
you guys want to go to the gun range,
that should
let me
seem to
know.
portend very well for his chances to win the state tonight. But if you're competing and looking down the road at Nevada and then South Carolina and Super Tuesday in early March, the Trump team wanted to win this in a profound way tonight with a big number. Is 9 points now less than that right now? Is that going to be enough for them? Or what happens with the other 80% of the estimated vote that's still out there? I can't show you this now. I'm going to flip over to the Democratic side because there is a race over there. I think two things are interesting, Jesse. We believe 100,000 Democrats voted today or
so Trump's most likely going to win the New Hampshire one.
Declared Democrat,
Yeah,
whether
we're listening to
you're
the analytics
undeclared
right
as
now.
an independent.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear him, but okay.
But he's just a tick below 60%. I was looking at this number a bit earlier today, okay? You add the raw vote total here, 13,500, 5,000, 1,000. We're a long way from knowing how many people chose to vote for Joe Biden as a write-in candidate, okay? And that's going to be very important because right now Dean Phillips is doing all right. He's above 20%. If that number were to hold throughout the night, it might send a little bit of a shiver down some Democratic spines throughout the night and into the next contest as we move further on. And let me just show you what is in the offing here on the calendar. It's early, right? It's only January. We've only had Iowa and we've had New Hampshire. if you're the Trump team and you're looking to vanquish all of your other opponents, with Ron DeSantis dropping out 2 days ago, look what's coming your way in February. Nevada's a mess, okay? You're going to have a primary where Nikki Haley's competing. There are no delegates there awarded. Then you got a caucus 2 days later where you will have delegates awarded, and Donald Trump will compete in the caucus, okay? So that sets Trump's team up well for Nevada. Then you're going to wait about 31 days, and you're going to go back to the Palmetto State, Nikki Haley's home state. Donald Trump has performed very well there. He's got the governor's support. He's got both senators behind him, and they believe polling in South Carolina is extremely strong. So depending on what happens tonight, I'll come back. I'll take you back to real time here. This is the scenario. We'll get away from Democrats now. We'll go back to the Republican race. And you think about this now, okay? You know, what is the margin? Remember what Nikki Haley told us throughout the entire week here in New Hampshire. She's not getting out, okay? But if the margin is so profound, say it's over 10 points, maybe if it goes to 15, you really make the Haley campaign think about whether or not you want to stick it in stick with this rather for another 31 days. So we'll watch this now and see how it goes. And let me just check it one more time here, Jesse. The margin's still 9 points, okay? So it's really a test right now on the board to see what happens between these two Republicans who are the only ones left in this race as of now.
All right.
Jesse.
Bill Hemmer, thank you so much. And now Primetime has a team coverage at both campaign headquarters. Let's start with Fox News.
So back to our conversation about the Second Amendment. So, and they just called it for Trump. New Hampshire primary. New York Times called it for Trump. That was quick. Wow, that was
amazing.
Well, Iowa was the fastest.
Yeah, so I guess we can finish our conversation about the Second Amendment. So obviously they can't pass a new amendment to ban the Second Amendment because there's not enough support for it, not even close. So this is how they would actually do it. So let's say some crazy left-winger comes in and they win Congress, they win the House and Senate. They could pack the court and they could put like 4 new liberal justices on the Supreme Court. Then they could hear a case regarding the Second Amendment. Then they would have the votes to say, okay, the Second Amendment's unconstitutional. And then, boom, you're done. That's the end of the Second Amendment. Then they go door to door and collect all the guns. It's really that simple. That's all it would take.
And here's the problem with that. If anyone, there's a lot of people that are not willing to give up their guns.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. They're going to call it right now.
Call it for Donald.
We have a call to make. Let's bring in Martha McCallum, anchor of The Story, and Brett Baer, anchor of Special Report.
That's why we need
Jesse, the Fox News decision desk can now project that former President Donald Trump will win the New Hampshire Republican primary.
We need to stand up and stand down.
For Trump, given the role that undeclared voters, moderate New England Republicans play in this state in particular.
He defeats his
It's
only
better to
notable
live standing
rival
up than
still in
to
this race,
live
former
on your
Governor
knees.
Nikki Haley.
It's better
Haley
to die
appears to be
standing than
running a
live on your
somewhat
knees the rest
closer
of your
race
life.
than the recent
Damn
polling
right,
had
Paul.
showed.
I'm saying
Both of
is-
these candidates will receive a
You
share
guys, we can't hear the
of
analytics.
the 22 delegates at stake
Oh,
tonight.
I'm
You have
sorry.
to get over 10% in order to start divvying up those delegates, and she's in that range.
And you know what's really interesting, Jesse, is that immigration, again, the top issue, Iowa and New Hampshire, and the Trump campaign was very disciplined in how they pitched that. Every rally we went to, every commercial has some mention of immigration, and they hit that hard in the final days.
It's pretty stunning that immigration has gotten to the top issue in New Hampshire. And I think you look back at all of the migration and the intentional migration that some of these governors in southern states did, sending migrants up to the...
I guess that's the end of it. I guess we can keep having political discussion and track and see what the final numbers are, but the election is now called.
Well, you know, the thing that most of the government officials don't realize is the Second Amendment isn't meant for the government. It's meant for the people, so that if the government becomes unruly and starts oppressing people, that it's the right of the people to destroy the government and rebuild it. And that's what most of the politicians don't realize is the fact the Second Amendment is meant for the people. It's not meant for the government to decide whether it agrees with their ideas or not. It's meant for the people, not them. And, you know, I'm pretty sure most of the people in office that are senators don't realize that if they're a Democrat. They don't realize the Second Amendment is meant for the U.S. citizen to defend themselves against the government becoming unruly and oppressionist.
That is true.
But that is my take on it. I'm pretty sure most of the Democrats don't realize that's the purpose of the Second Amendment. It's not meant for everybody to own a firearm just to have a sporting good old time or shooting a good old 10-point buck out in the cornfield. It's meant for the U.S. citizen to defend themselves against the government becoming out of control. And if the Founding Fathers figured that out almost 250 years ago, then, you know, they were onto something. But
So, you guys, it's actually interesting. It looks like Asa Hutchinson is actually registering in one of these towns or cities. Looks like he's winning one of them because there's some purple or the pinkish purple on the map here. But I scrolled down and I can't find out what city it is. It's not showing up.
well, it looks like a border state with Canada.
No, it's in the almost in the middle of the state.
No, there's a pink spot near the edge of it, near the top.
There's nothing even filled in at the top.
Unless I'm not talking about the top where it starts going into the little J at the very corner there. There's a pink spot.
That's light red.
Unless that's red, and I can't tell the difference.
That's red.
Oh, no good. It looks pinkish.
The county to the right of that one is what I'm talking about, or city.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that's weird because
That's
Asa
what- that's
Hutchinson
what you're talking
was
about.
not registering in any polls, and he was dropped out of the race. So it's kind of interesting that he's doing as well as he is. Here, Vivek speaking. Let's listen to him for a minute.
Vivek.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Party?
I am Jesse. I'm right here at the the after party right here. And look, I think this is a decisive win for Donald Trump. That's what we're seeing tonight. I think there's actually an interesting view of this, which is it's like a terrain for the general election. You have more independents and Democrats, it looks like, voting in this GOP primary than registered Republicans themselves. And many of the largest donors to the Democratic Party have been the largest donors to Nikki Haley, who's Donald Trump's opponent here. So I think this is a prediction of what you're going to see in the general election. And the decisive margin we see tonight is in some ways, I think, something that bodes well for Trump heading into the general election in November to reunite this country. And so in my view, the general election really begins tonight. I think the Republican primary, for all intents and purposes, is over tonight. And I think the party and the country are better off if we see that for what it is.
Is Vivek Ramaswamy calling for Nikki Haley to suspend her campaign?
Look, I do think that would be the right thing for the country, unambiguously. And also just to call a spade, Jesse, as you know, I've not been unafraid to do that in this campaign. If Nikki Haley does stay in, it will send the signal that her only path and what she's playing for is for Donald Trump being eliminated by forces outside of this process, by the judicial system, by secretaries of state in places like Maine or elsewhere. And I think that's downright wrong. I think it's wrong for the Republican Party. I think it's wrong for this country. There is no viable path for her to defeat him through the front door. And so what we're really just seeing is the very people like Reid Hoffman, who are paying for the lawsuits against Donald Trump, now becoming the largest donors, or among the largest donors to Nikki Haley. It becomes obvious that the thing they're playing for is Trump to be eliminated by what I view as illegitimate means. And I think that is bad for this party, bad for this country. That's what that will mean. And so for that reason, I do think the right decision for Nikki Haley to make for the country and for the Republican Party tonight or very soon after tonight is to make this a one-person nomination for the Republican nomination and then head to a general election where we can focus, I think, Jesse, this year on delivering a 1980-style moral mandate, a Reagan-style landslide. When you have the likes of John Fetterman even recently talking about the importance of the southern border. That says that many Democrats and independents and libertarians agree with the views of this America First movement. That's why I took myself out of the race to endorse Donald Trump. I think the other Republicans have done the right thing. It's time for Nikki Haley to do the right thing as well and focus on a landslide this November that, dare I say, will reunite this country, and that's why I'm in this.
All right, Vivek, thank you so much. Enjoy the party. Try to behave yourself.
Screen.
Thank you.
Let's now bring in Dana Perino, co-anchor of America's Newsroom and
Okay.
my co-host on the 5. So,
All right. So what were you guys talking about before we cut out to that?
I don't know. I don't know. I forgot. We were talking about the Second Amendment.
Yeah, let's move away from that. Let's talk about something else.
All right, I got one.
Where's Dad?
I don't know. Let's talk about homelessness, because honestly, homelessness has been going up a lot lately.
Yeah, in these big cities run by Democrats, it sure has been.
Yeah, have you seen California, man?
It's pretty bad.
California's a cesspool.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I would not want to live there.
Yeah, the dog's barking. He was close to me, so I muted myself. But onto the homelessness issue, you know, I think if the country would just take 1 year instead of pissing away all this money on foreign wars that we aren't even participating in, and would just take a look at the homelessness problem we have, they could solve the issue. And if anything, homeless veterans should not ever be a thing. Because if you sign up to support the country and you go over and fight for this country, you should not come back and the government should turn your back on you. That's not how it should be. You signed your life to uphold the contract to go support the government. You shouldn't get screwed by that same government saying, oh, you know, well, we can't help you. But homelessness needs to be addressed. And the crazy thing is, when President Xi of China came to visit California, Gavin Newsom cleaned up the entire streets of the homelessness people and made it look like the most appealing area ever. And then after President Xi left, he just let it go back to how it was. So it is possible to clean it up. The people in power just need to be willing to do it.
Yeah, it's disgusting what he's done in that city.
Gavin Newsom he's pretty much a socialist. He's not even remotely close to believing in America. He is a socialist. And if people live in the state of California, I don't know how you can stand it. Because holy cow, nothing good ever comes out of California. I can tell you that.
Yeah, so, I think Haley's going to speak. You guys should have this pulled up on your end.
Can they win in New England? And what I was just saying at the beginning is that everyone has to gather together if they expect to win one of these contests. It's going to be a tough general election fight.
it sure will be. And right now, I think we have Nikki Haley live in Concord, New Hampshire. Let's listen in.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, what? I love
A room full of Democrats.
What? What a great night. God is so good.
Dad, you're watching it, right?
I am.
Thank you, New Hampshire, for the love, the kindness, the support, and a great night here tonight. Thank you so much.
Let's go. Drop out of the race.
I want to first say thank you to my
Get out of the
husband,
race,
who I know
Nikki.
is
No one
watching
wants
right
you
now. I
except
love
your
you.
Democrat supporters.
I want to thank my kids who are here, Rena and Naylan and Josh, who have really kind of stepped up and just given me the support I need. You know, you really pull on your family when something like this happens. And I am incredibly blessed by their support. I have my parents at home, and I will always say that the way they raised me, to know that we lived in the best country in the world, but to also know that the best way you appreciate your blessings is to give back. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I love you so much. To my siblings, to my in-laws, to everybody back at home, to Vicky for helping me take care of Mom and Dad. Thank you for that. You know, I will tell you, it feels like it's been a lifetime, but it has been almost a year that we've been campaigning in New Hampshire, touching every hand, answering every question, being the last person to leave. And we had the most amazing thing happen is the second that we got the endorsement from Governor Chris Sununu. I mean, a true governor that doesn't stand behind a podium. He shows up at a diner. He shows up at the brewery. He loves the people of New Hampshire. He has been with me every single day at every single event. Chris, I couldn't have done it without you. And I want to thank someone who was with me on day one. He's a patriot. He's a hardcore conservative. And he is my friend, General Don Bolduc. And Sharon, thank you so much. I want to congratulate Donald Trump on his victory tonight. He earned it, and I want to acknowledge that. Now, you've all heard the chatter among the political class. They're falling
Sounds
all
like she's
over
not dropping
themselves,
out.
saying this race is over.
Not sounding like it.
Well, I have news for all
You
of
ain't
them.
gonna win Michigan.
New Hampshire is first in the nation. It is not the
Well, if
last.
she stays in, she's just embarrassing herself, so it's whatever.
This race is far from over. There are dozens of states left to go.
And you're going to lose every single one of them.
And the next one is my sweet state
What'd she
of
say?
South Carolina.
No, it's not. The next state is Nevada. She doesn't even know the order of the
At
states.
one point in this
She doesn't know what
campaign,
she's
there
talking
were
about.
14 of us running. And we were at
far
2%
from
in the polls.
Man.
Well, I'm a fighter. And I'm scrappy. And now we're the last ones standing next to Donald Trump. And today we got close to half of the vote. We still have a ways to go, but we
She says
keep
she's running because
moving
she's
up.
worried about the future of our country. Yeah, right.
She's worried about lining her pockets with foreign
For a
wars
lot of
that
people,
she's actively involved in.
Politics
That's all
is
she
way
cares
too
about.
personal. It's not personal for me. I voted for
She just
Trump
wants open
twice.
borders. She
I
just
was
doesn't care
proud
about
to
the
serve
economy,
America
man.
in his cabinet.
All she
I
cares about
agree
is
with
funding
many of his
foreign wars, so
policies.
every single
I decided to
private
run
business
because
she's
I'm
invested in, she
worried
can
about
get
the
some
future
money out
of
of
our
it. That's the only thing
country,
she
and
cares
because
about.
it's time to
She's
put
gonna
the
be another Bush if
negativity
she
and
gets in the
chaos
office.
behind us.
That's exactly what she is.
All right, that was Nikki Haley
All right.
not dropping out. She said New
So she's not dropping out.
If
Like
she
I
was
said,
the
she can
nom-
keep embarrassing herself.
All right, guys, we got to stop all talking at the same time. Like, this has been a consistent thing all night.
Okay.
Well, somebody talk.
Someone
Okay,
go.
okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway, even if she was to win the nominee, I wouldn't vote.
Well, she's not gonna though. That's the thing. There's no path for her to win. Now, what we need to be looking at now is now we know Trump's gonna win, but now we got to look at how much he's gonna win by because that matters too. He really, I mean, I want him to win by more than 60 points. Excuse me, I meant more than 10, and I meant like 60% of the vote.
Yeah, like I said initially when we started. I mean, my thing about Nikki Haley is if she keeps in and keeps running against him, she's just gonna come up second place every time. Like, she's not gonna beat him. So, like, after New Hampshire, she should just drop out. And if she's so, like, determined to be the president, she can try again in 2028. Like, at this point, she's just wasting time and money trying to win now.
Honestly, I think there will be a better candidate than her by the end of 2028.
Yeah, like I said, Trump won't be in the race, so his voters are going to go to somebody else. They're not going to go to Haley.
Well, yeah, 2028 will probably be an interesting year as well. After Donald Trump's done with his term, well, I guarantee you we're going to probably see DeSantis and Haley are going to be in 2028 for sure. They're going to be running. But on the Democrat side, who would be running in 2028? Besides maybe
Gavin Newsom.
That guy's a clown.
Literally every Republican is going to run in 2028.
Whoever Trump's VP, if he gets a second term and he has whoever's his VP could possibly get the Republican nomination.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because honestly, I was making this prediction a long time ago that Mike Pence would get the nomination in 2024 if Trump got a second term in 2020. This was before 2020, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to predict it now. Mike Pence is going to be president after Trump. That's what I was hoping for, but yeah, after 2020, not so much. Pence ruined his chances of ever becoming president.
Yeah, he turned on
us. Pence
I know,
destroyed
right?
it when he said the American people don't matter. He killed every single chance of politicalness after he said that.
What?
When he was asked about Ukraine and the money situation, he's like, "Oh, I support that, but supporting the American people, I don't support that." He let it slip.
No, he ruined it way before that.
And that was the final nail on the coffin then.
No, the final nail in the coffin was January 6th.
Yeah.
I take it you don't even know what I'm referring to.
Yeah, I know.
When he finalized the election results for 2020.
Yeah, he certified the results.
Mike Pence, the traitor.
And let's be honest, he's not going to be Trump's VP pick again. No way.
Well, yeah, he's not even on the list.
Obviously. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Chrissy Nome. Or maybe even Marjorie Taylor Greene.
When Trump comes out to give his victory speech, we will go to that.
The vote's in that 34%. In 24.
What?
What's the vote at for New Hampshire?
It's 24% in, 52 Trump, 46 Haley.
South Carolina, no, I cut their taxes. They know I signed the toughest illegal immigration bill in the country. They know we passed voter ID and tort reform and ethics reform, and they know we moved 35,000 people from welfare to work. Every time I've run for office in South Carolina, I've beaten the political establishment.
You are the political establishment.
They're
She
lined up
is.
against me
Oh.
again. That's no surprise. But
Oh, I just
South
watched her
Carolina
end it. I think they're a
voters
few minutes
don't
behind me.
want a coronation. They want an election. And we're going to give them one. Because we are just getting started. Thank you for the energy. Thank you. Thank you for the love, New Hampshire. We're going home to South Carolina.
Not before Nevada, you stupid idiot.
I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Now I want to say it's really important that I say some additional thank yous. I thanked
right,
Governor
we
Chris
don't need to listen to
Sununu
her
and
thank
General
people.
Don and Sharon Bolduc, but I also want to mention just a few incredibly great.
So we have a quarter of the vote in, and 5,000 votes separate the two. The New York Times has his estimated win margin of 11 percentage points.
So he should finish. So he should finish at 61%. The 11 margin difference.
How do you figure that?
Well, and that's the difference between them at the current moment. But we got to see if Nikki Haley gets more percent.
We should be expecting Trump to come out real soon.
His victory speech.
Yep. So far, Trump has 11 delegates. Haley has 6.
Well, I go to go pee again. I will be back.
Sandra.
Hey, Jesse, we've got some brand new data to show you really about voters and what they said about Trump's strengths, and really led to what we've seen so far tonight. As far as those MAGA supporters, we know on the ground there in New Hampshire, half of New Hampshire Republican primary voters identify as MAGA supporters. Well, look at that, their support for Donald Trump. 87% of them voted for Trump. He also did very well with those conservative voters. As you can see here, 68% supported Donald Trump. He also did well with those without a college degree, the rural voters. 57% of them went for him. Also, a big question that we had heading into tonight was when people decided who their candidate would be. Time of decision. This is a really telling thing. Of those voters who said that they decided more than a month ago, they supported Donald Trump in this race. 6 in 10 decided more than a month ago. 69% of that group went for Donald Trump. Just a quarter of them went for Haley. Next up, another question that we have been asking voters in this Republican primary. What do they think about how the country is run and how much change they want to see? About 3 in 10 voters said that they want complete and total upheaval. And 82% of them went for Donald Trump in this race. This is even more than we saw in Iowa, where 70% of those caucus goers went for Donald Trump. One more thing about winning in November. This was obviously a very key question for voters in New Hampshire. 74% say it's very important for the Republican nominee to be able to win in November. And those voters, well, over 6 in 10 of them went for, guess it, Donald Trump. 62%.
Are we
of the
watching
time. So,
something?
Jesse, these are some of our key takeaways so far. We'll have more later in the night.
Coverage on right
All
now.
right, Sandra, thank you so much. Let's now bring in Shannon Bream, host of Fox.
All right.
And Dick.
All right. Well, we can keep having more discussion. We are at 26% of the vote is in. Trump 53, Haley 45. Dad, are you going to talk?
Yeah, I was collecting my thoughts real quick.
You were
You
fixing
know what
what?
like really baffles me? I was collecting my thoughts. But you know what really baffles me?
What's that?
You know, people can say Joe Biden's economy is so bad, but then people will still go and vote for him. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. How can you make the claim that the economy is so fucking bad and you end up still voting for the guy? Yeah, I know.
Well, that's because they hate white Christians.
Well, yeah, that's
because
got to be it, right?
They hate white Christians so much that they'll go homeless before they vote for a Republican.
I mean, yeah. But even still, it's like, to the people that still say, oh, I don't like Trump, well, you gotta admit, when he was in office, the economy was doing pretty good. Considering what we were coming off of, the economy was booming. Like, that's the thing that kills me. People will say, oh, I hate Trump, so I'm not voting for him. The man's a businessman. He knows how to run the economy. He knows how to make us money and make it so that we aren't living paycheck to paycheck, just slaving away, you know. Like, if people would just wake up and realize that, you know, we wouldn't be in this current predicament.
Well, yeah, it was the best economy ever.
Yeah, and people gave that up because of mean tweets and just because they didn't like the guy and called him an orange man. Crazy. Now look where we're at. The brink of World War III.
Because they listen to the media, dude. They believe everything they say.
Yeah, that's the main problem with this country. People turn on the TV and believe everything that comes out.
Yeah, the media has pretty much brainwashed the population, dude.
Yeah. It needs to be destroyed, honestly, or completely changed in how it's run. So as soon as Donald Trump's back in office, he's got to overhaul and reform the media. That's ultimately the common people's number one enemy.
We can't. Well, I get the media is the enemy of the people. I would support defunding all government funding to the media, but at the same time, I'm against the idea of government media.
Well, yeah, then that becomes like basically a communist state where the government controls everything that's said. But even still, like the current media, like freedom of speech doesn't exist. If you say something that the media doesn't agree with, they will censor you. So it needs to go back to a point where freedom of speech is the number one most upheld value when it comes to news and what is shown to the American people. Freedom of speech should be the number one most valuable thing when it comes to news coverage. It shouldn't be, oh, we're going to not let you hear that take because we don't agree with it. It should be, okay, everyone has a voice and it will be heard. That's the basis of it. But nowadays, it's how much woke agenda can we push in the news. That's all they cover these days.
Massachusetts down here. This is the second most populous county, Rockingham County, all of New Hampshire. You only have 7% of the vote accounted for right now in Rockingham. If I were to take you back, now we just jumped to 9%, right? Now,
I mean, am I wrong for saying that?
If I were to take you back 8 years ago...
No, you're not wrong for saying it. I'm just saying, I get what you mean. I feel like the media should be more held accountable
Donald Trump vanquished all of them with
in like
just
court
shy
of law.
of 39% in Rockingham County.
Well, yeah, they trash. They've been trashing Trump's name for the past, like, what, almost 8 years now? Just because that's the only thing they
there could be news.
Yeah, that's the only thing they can run that gets any sort of attention on their failing news channels like CNN. Great example. All they ever talk about every day is like, oh, Donald Trump did this. Oh, Donald Trump's getting indicted. Oh, this is what Donald Trump was doing versus Joe Biden.
Seems to be doing pretty well
seriously?
again with only
CNN is such a joke. I seriously hate that news site.
Hey, notice that, okay, there's one problem with liberals that I have a huge issue with.
Are those Nikki Haley
They will talk
right
so
now?
much trash about Trump, but that's
the
all
kind
they
of
can
vote that
do.
Nikki
They can't
Haley's
name one positive thing that Joe Biden has done.
There in Merrimack County. Let me come out here just for a moment.
Well, yeah, that's
Jesse.
a fact. If you ask any liberal what they name one great thing Joe Biden did, they can't tell you anything.
We're trying to figure
yeah,
out
exactly.
What vote still
all they
needs
do
to
is
be
run their
counted.
mouth saying,
Okay?
"Oh,
We'll
that
slip into
guy's
the
terrible."
realm here. The
I don't like
remaining
him.
vote here
But like,
exactly,
that's the basis of
right? I mean,
dude, yeah, exactly. I get that
purple,
answer a
the more
lot.
votes
Like,
that have to be tabulated right now. And again,
he's just better than Trump, or
still at 27%.
like they'll
So throughout the entire
stutter in their
state
words
of New
or
Hampshire,
something. You know what I
you're going
mean?
to have remaining vote coming in. Then ultimately,
either that or
if
when you ask them, they're like,
patient with me here,
I gotta go do something real quick. So they won't actually tell you something about invent some way to dodge your question. And it's just like, well, just be straight up and tell me. Like, do you not like him for a certain reason? Can you name anything good Biden did?
That means Nevada early February.
Like, for real, yeah. If you're gonna support someone,
in 31 days.
if you're gonna vote for him again, then you should at least name at least one good thing he's accomplished.
Fox News contributor and former White House deputy.
I mean, that, and my favorite thing is when people ask people what they think of Kamala Harris, and then most of them are just, oh, it's just a woman in the White House. That's literally like the only thing they can come up with that's something positive to say about her. And it's like, are you serious? That's the only thing you come up with? That's absurd.
He's like she is so fucking cringy, dude. Have you guys seen her during the State of the Union get up and start clapping like fucking no tomorrow, like she's dancing and all that shit?
Kamala Harris wakes up with her clown makeup on every day. Or even the White House press secretary. She is the biggest clown ever. And she got arrested for a DUI and she wasn't charged with it, which is insane to me. Because she crashed her car and flipped it, I'm pretty sure, in D.C., and she wasn't charged with the DUI. Even though they have her blood alcohol on file. But, you know, yeah, the justice system's fair, right?
You guys talked through that entire segment.
What was the segment about?
Yeah, what segment are you talking about?
The analytics. Okay, Dad, pull up the stream on your phone so that you know when I go to that.
I'm watching it. I'm
Okay.
watching the stream right now.
So you were watching that thing happen and you were just talking right over it.
No, on my screen you were watching the county map.
Well, then you need to fast forward to make it live.
It is live. It's still. I've been watching it. Do you not think I don't have it pulled up so I can watch it?
Okay, well, it's off it now. I'm saying I was on it when you guys were talking.
Yeah, you were on the needle.
No,
I
I
saw
was
it.
on the analytics on Fox.
I didn't see it. Sorry. You should have said, "Hey, shut up."
And now that we're not watching anything, we'll just sit here like 3 bumps on a log.
Well, then what do you think of the takes that we've been saying? You haven't chimed in once.
Well, you guys aren't really giving any kind of like detailed discussion. It's just very broad, general statements.
Well, then you can go further in depth and be like, "Well, you know what? I agree with what you say here, but this is what I think."
Okay.
How do you feel about the How do you feel about the media, Curtsy?
Yeah, the media there.
I despise the media. They're corrupt.
I know. And what would you want changed from the media?
You know, really, we've got to change election laws. We have to have a constitutional amendment to ban money from politics and to overturn Citizens United, because with Citizens United, super PACs can just have infinite amount of money that give to candidates, and then those candidates turn around and give it to the media in forms of political ads. And so they're going to take all that money for the ads, and of course they're going to do propaganda on their behalf for them in return for all that money. So once we get money out of politics, you might see an honest media once again.
I mean, yeah, Biden already has a bunch of super PACs. If you don't mind me naming one, the ADL.
Yeah, it's all disgusting.
No, the ADL is, I mean, it's a Jewish-owned organization, which I have no problem with, but the thing is about it is their whole mission is just to cancel people.
Yeah. I mean, that's like seriously the biggest problem with the media. It's so one-sided that it's trying to pit people against one particular thing. When in all actuality, the media should be unbiased, unfiltered. You should be able to get whatever you want from there and take it how you will. It shouldn't be so biased to the point that people are suppressed. You can't hear multiple opinions. It's like I was saying like 5 minutes ago, where freedom of speech should be the number one most valued thing in the media. If it's not upheld, your news station should be instantly taken off the air until you can figure out what the First Amendment means. But until that ever happens, you know, we're still going to have this pitting one side against the other, suppressing ideas and thoughts across the entire world. But whatever.
Dad, is Neocon joining?
I don't know, is he? Is he still joining the military?
No, like, is he going to join the stream tonight?
When did you hit him up?
Yeah, I did actually.
Did he respond to you?
Well, it's connecting right now.
Well, here's an actual take. What do you think about senators and public politicians being able to dabble in insider trading? But meanwhile, the average American citizen, if they get caught doing insider trading, they get prison time. That's just not right in my book. If a politician can do it, why can't a U.S. citizen do it? Can benefit the system.
Yeah, they should be banned from doing that, period.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a public figure and you're doing insider trading and you're prosecuting someone that got charged with doing insider trading, that's just the most backwards thing I've ever heard. That's insane. If anything, ban insider trading all across the board. And if you're a politician, you shouldn't be becoming multimillionaires like the Biden family, for instance. Joe Biden's been doing politics for 50 years, and he's a multimillionaire. How does that make any sense? There's something fishy going on.
Dad, will you put in the general server just a message to let Neocon that we're waiting for him to join? I can't do it on my end since I'm on Discord on the computer. Tell him to hurry up too. We've waited long enough. Trump will be speaking soon, just so you guys are aware. We're gonna listen to that when it comes in.
All right. Well, I gotta get going. You guys have a good night, and thank you for having me on.
Yeah, take care.
Neocon's been.
What did you say to him?
I said we're waiting for you.
Why didn't I get the message?
It's there. I even tagged them.
Dad, do you want to put a message also in the server and tag Caden and tell him to get his ass in here too?
Oh boy. I might call him.
Well, don't call him. It's gonna mess up the stream. You can just put that in there and tag him, and he'll join.
Even in the server.
What? Are you doing it?
I should.
What? Answer. 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 Answer.
What?
Did you message him? Answer.
They've been notified. Calm down, damn.
Well, I couldn't hear anything for a solid, 60 seconds. Caden, you're listening to me speak right now. Hurry up and join.
What?
He's
in the live chat, isn't he?
Yeah.
Tell him to join now.
Let's go. Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Dad, did you see that video of the teacher that got cancer and his students came out and sang to him outside his house?
I did not know.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't. Why I oughta. Where's Caden? What's he doing?
I think he said he was joining.
He's not here.
He will
Unless he's
be.
gonna pull the card. Oh, I don't know how to do that.
He'll be here.
Better be. Oh, there he is. Well, Senor Caden, what do you think of the current polls right now? Well,
Nobody's speaking right now.
Yeah, wanting to hear Caden's thoughts. He's not saying nothing. So where is he?
I don't know, but these results are more interesting than anything.
We got 53 for Donnie and 45.3. Oh my god. Caden, I get you're watching the coverage. Go to the Discord and say something. You're talking yet or what?
Nope.
Well, it's not that hard to figure it out. It's been done before.
Yeah, you're right.
I know I am. I should pick the guitar back up. Oh.
We have a third of the vote in, Dad, and Trump at 53, Haley at 45.
Well, that was almost like I predicted at the front. Or the start of the video, which frame.
No, you predicted 60.
I mean,
I said 54, so I'm right on the money. If it holds.
okay, but it could change. Donald Trump's overall percentage could go up. It could.
Well, Dad, we are going to go to the rally in Michigan, right?
Well, yeah. How are we going? How do you want to get there? You want to fly there? Or do you want to drive around?
We're going to fly to Michigan.
Wisconsin to Michigan. Yeah. In order to get to Michigan, you have to go down, over, and up. It's not connected to Wisconsin at all.
You do realize that, right?
So we either have to go
you
through
realize
Illinois to
the southwestern part of Michigan is only like a couple hours away from us.
Well, yeah, it depends if you want to go through Chicago or around it, though.
And Dad, you realize Michigan
Chicago,
is connected to Wisconsin. We would just have to drive up north.
Yeah, that's like a 6-hour detour to go down from the top of the state.
No, the upper peninsula that's connected to Wisconsin.
Closer. Yeah, I know that. There's no bridge between the upper peninsula and this main part of it, is there?
Why? Okay.
I've never been to Michigan besides the airport.
Why would we need to go from the upper peninsula down to the other part of the state?
Well, if you're saying how we get to Michigan, that's what I was saying.
Okay, I'm saying if he held a rally up in the upper peninsula, we could just drive up north. If he had one close to us on the southwestern side, we could just go down and around. Real simple stuff here. I don't know why you're overcomplicating it.
I don't know why I'm overcomplicating it.
Yeah, so are we going to go? I mean, the people want to see us go.
Well, yeah, when's this rally?
It's going to be probably the week before the thing.
But where's he going to hold it?
I'm sure.
In Detroit?
He's going to have events all over the state. We just got to pick the one closest to us or the one that we want to go to.
Well, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Caden, you better talk.
He's been here for so long. And if you don't talk, we're sending you up with the Navy SEAL recruiter.
Lieutenant Colonel Kroll.
I'm going to sign you up, Caden, if you don't speak. Does he not have an understanding of how this works? I thought we've explained it to him enough.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Speak, Dad.
What?
Talk,
Yes?
Talk about the rally that we're going to go to. Because that'll be fun to talk about.
We're going to go there and get some live coverage. And we're going to be covering it and spreading the good word of the true president.
Maybe we can get some more hats.
Well, maybe. Well, the last one we went, or the one we went to,
we didn't have time to
probably
get one.
could have gotten hats, but yeah, I know. But it turns out that he was running late, so it just happened to work out in our favor that one time.
But if we had stopped and got a hat before we went down to the doors, that might have made the difference of us not getting in. That's my problem with it. Dad, do you want to go out to the pub this weekend to celebrate Trump's victory?
I'll let you know closer to the day.
Excuse me?
I'll let you know closer to the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ugh.
Still waiting on Trump to speak.
He should be about to, though. They called it for him so long ago. They called him for him at what, 18%, was it?
Something like that.
Pretty sure it was like 18, 19%. They called it for him. Oh. Damn it. Oh, he left.
He left? Well, we better get back in here.
Better. So, there he is.
Talk, Caden.
Talk, you! Says he can't figure out his mic.
You better figure it out.
So you were I told him how to fix it.
Any word from Neocon?
No, nothing. Did they say he might have been working the day that this was going on? At his retail job?
I don't remember.
For sure he did. He said, "Oh, I might be working." He puts all caps. Okay.
Okay, what?
I told him a solution. He's getting all angry about it. Like, I'm trying to help you. He's such a SOB. Just be grateful you have a father figure in your life, and like a real one. I'm not angry, sure. It's located. We're getting angry at you because you can't figure it out. I've about had enough of this. Wow, no, this goober misspells accidentally. So, yeah.
So we got another segment from the board. Let's listen in.
Good evening to you. Interrupt me anytime you want, okay? I got a lot to show you right now, show our viewers at home as to where we stand. New Hampshire's counting slow tonight. And I say that, Sean, because you've got about a third of the vote in. And I don't know if that has something to do, I'm guessing here now, with the Democratic write-in vote. Because if I flip over the Democratic race, again, we declared Joe Biden to be the winner. But you're just about 40% right there. I don't know if that has something to do with the slowdown, but it could be. All right, you're 33% reporting.
Well, Ken, if you can't figure it out, I guess you got to pay your mom a visit.
Maybe what's happening out there. And
we're listening to this.
And this mattress
estimated vote that is in. Just keep that number in mind, okay, to the folks at home. In New Hampshire, 70% of those who vote in the state live in 4 counties. And they're all in the southern part of the state, and we're going to go through those right now, okay? Right on the border here with Massachusetts. This is Hillsborough County, population 30% of all of New Hampshire. It ranks 1 out of 10, okay? Right, you see that? You're 32%. Donald Trump, percentage-wise, leads by 12 points in Hillsborough County. It seemed to be a good number for the Trump team. Conversely, over here in Rockingham County, so your population rank, you're 2 out of 10 now for the whole state. You got a lot of that vote out right now, Sean. You're at 16%. Trump holds on to a 6-point lead in Rockingham County. If I were to take you back 8 years ago, listen, the entire race was different then. I grant you that. You had 10 Republicans. But in Rockingham County, against 9 other Republicans, Trump fared pretty well, just shy of 39%. Let's come back to modern days right now. Let's go to Concord. This is Merrimack County. Again, here's the number, 40%. There's still a lot of vote out there right now. Trump has a slight edge over Nikki Haley by 2 points. When I checked this about 10 minutes ago, Haley was leading in Merrimack, where you find the capital city of Concord. One other county for the 70% that I mentioned, this is Stratford County. Okay, so they're counting quicker, right? That's 67%. You're 2/3 in. Trump leads Nikki Haley in this county by 11 points at 55 to 45. So that's what's happening right now as I scan the state. Now, with regard to Democrats, I want to explain something right now and take you back in time. That's going to say a lot about right now, about maybe what the Democratic challenge is for Joe Biden. Okay, so we talked about this. Biden, the write-in candidate. Dean Phillips still hanging in there at 20%. Somewhat impressive, I would argue. If I were to come out of this, Sean, and take you, do a little history lesson, okay? So this is, got it, okay. This is the Democratic outcome for 2020. Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg. They ran all across the state, all right? Well, where was Joe Biden in that race? He was 5th at 8%. If I were to take you a week prior to that in the Iowa caucus back in 2020, it was Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg, right? Joe Biden is not there in the gold, silver, or bronze. He was at fourth place, just shy of 14%. So then Biden made a calculation when he was here in New Hampshire. He left before the tally came out. He did not go to Nevada. He went to South Carolina. In about 17 days after New Hampshire results, this is what happened. On leap day of 2020, Joe Biden shy of 50%. That catapulted him past Bernie Sanders, led him on this tear across the country for the remaining states. He became the nominee and later became the president. So now then, we're going to head to South Carolina in about a month's time. And on the Republican side, that is when the race will be held if Nikki Haley continues with the current position that she announced here just a short time ago. On the calendar, here is how it shakes down, okay? You're in January. We had two big contests right now. New Hampshire's still playing out, as I showed you. And we're going to tick into February. This matters for Republicans. Nevada caucus, all right? Donald Trump's competing. He's probably going to take all the delegates from that caucus that night at 26. Nikki Haley elected for the primary. It's a confusing matter. They split it up. It is what it is, but the caucus will matter. Then you get to South Carolina, okay? And we're going to see the measure of strength right now in South Carolina, the 50 delegates out there. Because as we started the night here, hang with me 1 second here. I'll show you this. This is where we started the night. You need 1,215 delegates to get the nomination. Trump took 20 out of Iowa. DeSantis took 9. He dropped out, as you know, a couple days back. And Nikki Haley was at 8. She's going to get some delegates tonight. But this contest could go on some time if Nikki Haley, the former governor and ambassador who worked for Donald Trump during his term in the White House, chooses to stay in. And that's where we are. Sean?
All right, Bill Hemmer at the big board tonight. We'll be checking back in with you throughout the evening.
All right, so some interesting stuff. We're at 36% of the vote in. Trump at 53, Haley at 45. So, Dad, I don't know. What do you think at this point in the night?
Well, I still think the trend's going to continue where Donald Trump is going to be ahead. And Haley might think she has a chance of surpassing him and beating him, but I don't think it's likely. I don't think it's going to happen. The closest I can see it getting is like a 2% spread between both of them.
It's not going to be 2%.
Other than that,
the New York Times Neil is always right.
It'll get.
So it's probably going to be 11-point difference between the two. You got me?
Well, then, yeah. At this point, it's, yeah, I get you. If anything, Donald Trump's poll is going to go up. I mean, do you see it going any different?
No, it's not going to go any different.
Though the real question is Nikki Haley going to actually drop out after this? Or no? Is she just going to keep going?
I'm predicting she's going to go into Super Tuesday.
And if she loses that, you think she's still going to keep going, or she's going to finally realize it's inevitable she's not going to win?
Well, she's going to get embarrassed in her own home state. Then we're going to have Michigan, and Trump's probably going to win there too. I mean, so this will probably... There's no way she's going to go any longer than March.
I mean, yeah. The thing is, like, about her, if I was in her shoes, if the people in my home state where I was governor don't like me and my opponent is beating me so bad, you know, it would kind of be a wake-up call to be like, you know what, maybe I wasn't that great of a governor for my state, and, you know, maybe I should just step down. But, you know, I get Nikki Haley's got to help her Democrat funders and all that, so.
You're watching Fox, right? Or do you have the stream pulled up?
I'm on the stream.
Okay, well, we'll be checking in to see when Trump's going to speak, so when he does, we will go to that.
Oh, he should be speaking soon, right?
Yeah, momentarily.
Either that or maybe once the vote hits 40%, then he'll come out.
We got that top county in that just came in red, so.
It's all but confirmed.
Excuse me?
It's all but confirmed at this point.
No, I'm saying the top fucking city in New Hampshire just came in red.
Yeah, which is where a lot of people live.
It's
I mean,
the
New
least
Hampshire's not
populated
very
spot of
populated.
the whole state.
Really?
Yeah, they're all in the southern part.
Yeah, no one lives near the top part. How's that the Democrat side looking? Is the
I stopped
percentages still
watching it.
roughly the same?
But Biden was at 60% last I checked.
Also, his percentages went up since last time.
And that stayed around the same. That's probably what it'll finish with.
It's crazy to think that people can still willingly vote for Biden, given the circumstances.
Well, he is the incumbent.
Yeah. Well, let me go get a drink.
You're the biggest flip-flopper there is.
I'm a flip-flopper. You shitting me?
Yeah, because you keep changing your
How's
mind
that?
on who you're supporting.
No, I'm not. I've been saying I was supporting Trump. Is Caden really not figured this out yet? This is ridiculous.
No, he's incompetent. Dad, don't you wish we were at the election party right now?
In New Hampshire?
Yeah, don't you wish we were there?
Yeah, it'd be great if we were just closer to the state.
Oh, I think he's gonna speak. Is he coming out?
Is he?
Yeah, he's here.
Don't care about the documents case. They so far have rejected the indictment. 6 in 10 New Hampshire voters said that these things were in fact politically motivated. The issue, though, is really going to come down to those independent voters that Nikki Haley got tonight. If he can't get those back, he may have to make her vice president. He can't be president.
It's going to be interesting to see, because then you're going up against the
So we got
president that really
Vivek,
can't
Tim
run
Scott,
on the
Trump.
old adage, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? And you might be voting for a guy that doesn't know that tonight is Tuesday. With that said, Mark, stay right there. We go to Trump headquarters, where Donald Trump has taken this stage. Very big, large, excited crowd here in New Hampshire for President Trump. Let's just dip in.
You watching it, Dad?
Yeah.
You can hear it on the stream, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Whoa.
Look at Tim Scott in the background.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This is a fantastic
He's just happy
state.
to be there.
This is a great, great state. You know, we won New Hampshire 3 times now. Three. We win it every time. We win the primary. We win the generals. We've won it, and it's a very, very special place to me. It's very important. If you remember, in 2016, we came here and we needed that win, and we won by 21 points, and it was great. And today, I have to tell you, it was very interesting because I said, wow, what a great victory. But then somebody ran up to the stage all dressed up nicely when it was at 7. But now I just walked up and it's at 14. But she ran up when it was 7. And, you know, we have to do what's good for our party. And she was up and I said, wow, she's doing like a speech like she won. She didn't win, she lost. And you know, last week we had a little bit of a problem, and if you remember, Ron was very upset because she ran up and she pretended she won Iowa. And I looked around, I said, didn't she come in 3rd? Yeah, she came in 3rd. And then I looked at the polls. She was talking about most winnability, who's going to win, and I had one put up. I don't know if you see it, but I have one put up. We've won almost every single poll in the last 3 months against crooked Joe Biden. Almost every poll. And she doesn't win those polls. And she doesn't win those. This is not your typical victory speech, but let's not have somebody take a victory when she had a very bad night. She had a very bad night. And you have the now very unpopular governor of this state. This guy, he's got to be on something. I've never seen anybody with energy. He's like hopscotch. And, you know, I'm watching this guy, and 2 weeks ago he said, we're going to win in the landslide, we're going to win. About 3 days ago he started saying, well, we want to do well. That's a big difference. But I walked out just now, we're 14 points up, and I don't know what it's going to be. But when she was up here, it was like 6 or 7. And, you know, with like 7% of the vote counted. Now, let me just tell you, we had an unbelievable week last week in Iowa. We set a record. It was the best in the history of the caucus, in the history. And I remember I sort of had the same feeling. I'm up and I'm watching, and I said, she's taking a victory lap. And we beat her so badly, she was, but Ron beat her also. You know, Ron came in 2nd and he left. She came in 3rd and she's still hanging around. The other thing, she only got 25% of the Republican votes. I don't know if you saw that. Tremendous numbers of independents came out because in this state, because you have a governor that doesn't frankly know what the hell he's doing in this state, in the Republican primary, they accept Democrats to vote. In fact, I think they had 4,000 Democrats before October 6th. They already voted. Now, they're only voting because they want to make me look as bad as possible. Because if you remember, we won in 2016. And if you really remember, and if you want to play it straight, we also won in 2020. By more. And we did much better in 2020 than we did in 2016. But as they said, we lost by a whisker, just by a whisker. No. But we can't let that happen. You know, you have to have people that speak up. I said, I can go up and I can say to everybody, oh, thank you for the victory. It's wonderful. Or I can go up and say, who the hell was the imposter that went up on the stage before and like claimed a victory? She did very poorly, actually. She had to win. The governor said, she's going to win, she's going to win, she's going to win. Then she failed badly. Now I have here, if he promises to do it in a minute or less, but the only person more angry than, let's say me, but I don't get too angry, I get even. The only person, because he was there, and he did fantastically well, by the way, and then he endorsed me. And we don't have to talk about Tim Scott, who, by the way, just got engaged, we have to tell you. And that's more important than all of this stuff. But a man that got to know her very well is Vivek. I said, Vivek. I said, Vivek, go up and say a few words about it. He has to do it in 1 minute or less, and then we're going to just say, we had one hell of a night tonight. And one other thing, before Vivek comes, do you see that poll? We're going to put it up. We have beaten Biden. You could almost say, who can't? Who the hell can't? The man can't put two sentences together. He can't find the stairs off a stage. Who can't? But Vivek, 1 minute or less. Go do it, Vivek.
What we saw tonight is America first defeating America last. That's what we saw tonight. If you want America last, you can go to Joe Biden. You got another candidate still apparently in the Republican primary. Cut your Social Security to fork over more money to Ukraine so some kleptocrat can buy a bigger house. Go to Nikki Haley. But you know who delivered a double-digit victory tonight? It is a double...
Thank you very much, Tom. So this is an evening that I will not forget because it's the third time. But more importantly, I think it's going to be the most important time. We won both. It was, I think somebody said you rarely, if you win both, they've never had a loser. Let me put it that way. When you win Iowa and you win New Hampshire, they've never had a loss. There's never been. So we're not going to be the first, I can tell you. And I just do want to reiterate the polls. We're way up on everybody. We're way up on Biden. And over the last couple of months, if you check, and you have to remember, in 2016, they were saying, oh, what does he know about elections? He's not going to win. He can't win. He can't. Well, we won. And we got millions, and you can check this, and I hope the cameras don't turn off because they hate this, but we got millions and millions of more votes the second time. Right, Mr. Congressman? Millions and millions of more votes. And but we had COVID, and they used COVID to cheat, and they did a lot of other things, too. We're not going to let that happen, and that's still going along. We don't forget. You can never forget history, because if you forget, you never recover from it, and you repeat, and we're not going to repeat. We're going to have the greatest election success. We're going to turn our country around. If you take a look throughout the history of our country, if you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of this not great country right now. It's a country in decline. It's a troubled country. It's a failing country, frankly. But if you took the 10 worst presidents and put them together, the 10 worst, absolutely 10 worst. I used to say 5. Remember, I'd say 5. Then I said, wait a minute, we can add another 5. They would not have done the damage that crooked Joe Biden has done to our wonderful country. They would not have done the damage. There's never been anything like it. And you say, are they stupid people? I don't think so, because nobody can cheat that well if they're stupid. Do they hate our country? They must hate our country, because there's no other reason that they can be doing the things they do. Take a look. The taxes, they want to raise your taxes times 4. They want to let the Trump tax cuts, the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country, they want them to expire. Your taxes are going to go through the roof. You take a look at regulations. They're throwing regulations. You can't breathe. You can't even breathe with what they're doing. You take a look at our border. So bad. There's never been a border like this in the world. 4 years ago, we had the safest, best border in the United States. I built hundreds of miles of border wall. And they always say, oh, he didn't build hundreds of miles, because if there's a board laying on the ground, they say that's a renovation. They call it a renovation. If there's 2 nails laying from 50 years ago, they say, oh, that was a renovation. These are very dishonest people, and you're always fighting them. And just a little note to Nikki, she's not going to win. She's not going to win. But if she did, she would be under investigation by those people in 15 minutes. And I could tell you 5 reasons why already. Not big reasons, a little stuff that she doesn't want to talk about, but she will be under investigation within minutes. And so would Ron have been, but he decided to get out. He decided to get out. Now, Vivek, I don't think would be at all, because he's perfect, right? And Tim Scott, I know would never. That's no chance. Hey, Tim, do you want to say something? Come on, come on. I want him to say something.
New Hampshire. The president said a double-digit win in New Hampshire, and you delivered a double-digit win for President Trump. But I'm going to invite you to my home state starting tomorrow, where this election is over. It is time for the Republican Party to coalesce around our nominee and the next president of the United States, Donald Trump. Let's get that party started tonight.
What a good guy. What a good man he is. But just remember, I did hear Nikki say, and now it's off to South Carolina. Well, I love South Carolina. I love it. But, you know, she forgot one thing. She forgot one thing. Next week, it's Nevada. Next week, it's Nevada. It's not South Carolina. We love South Carolina, but next week, it's Nevada. And I'm pleased to announce we just won Nevada. We just won 100%. Because all of them, they looked at it, and they took polls, and I was polling at 95% to 4 or 5%, and they decided not to play in Nevada. So we just won Nevada. We have a man from Nevada here, Steve Wynn, wherever he may be, and John Paulson, the great John Paulson, made plenty of money in Nevada. Doesn't live there, but he makes a hell of a lot of money. He makes money everywhere he goes, actually. So Money Machine. Well, maybe we'll put you, you know what? Put him at Treasury. You want to make a little money? Let's put you. Anyways, good to have you guys. But we go to Nevada, and that's been won, so we pick up all of those delegates. And then we do go to South Carolina, where we've done really well, where I've done well. We have a great governor and lieutenant governor and great everything, because almost every one of them have endorsed me. 2 great senators, which is hard. I mean, did you ever think that she actually appointed you, Tim? And think of it, appointed, and you're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician. That's why he's a great politician. So this is a great evening, and it is, you know, we are going to Nevada for a little while. We're not going to have to do too much. We have a great team there, but it's a team that we can now send someplace else. They did a fantastic job, but and it's a fantastic place, really a fantastic place. But we'll be leaving there very quickly. We'll head out to South Carolina, where I think we're going to win easily. I think we're 50 points up, 5-0. 5-0, 50 points up on a person that was governor. That tells you something. But I felt I should do this because I find in life you can't let people get away with bullshit, okay? You can't. You just can't do that. And when I watched her in the fancy dress that probably wasn't so fancy come up, I said, what's she doing? We won. And she did the same thing last week, but he was much more angry about it than I was. I said, get up there and you let him know. We are going to win this. We have no choice. If we don't win, I think our country is finished. I do. I believe our country is finished. We have an opportunity to do something so amazing. And the good news, and the reason we have such support, the best numbers I've ever had, The reason we have support is because they are so bad at what they're doing and so evil, and they're destroying our country. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank this group of people. We will never forget you. We will never forget. And I made a pledge. I made a pledge to your state that you have the highest energy costs in the country. In the first year, they're going to be reduced by 50% because we are going to drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill. Inflation's going to come way down, but in the first year, your energy costs are going down by 50%. Thank you very much. We love you. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. We'll see you on the trail. And thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. We will see you on the trail. Thanks.
All right, President Trump giving.
All right, Dad, what did you think of his speech?
I mean, he just pretty much confirmed everything that we thought. And Tim Scott, every time he came up, he was just happy to be there. I just like to point that out. But, you know, Donald Trump, every time he goes to the microphone, he speaks truth. What do you mean about what?
You were talking, then you go, but.
Yeah, I was saying Donald Trump just speaks the truth every time he's on the microphone. Like, when he says that if he doesn't win in 2024, it's finished. He's correct. It is going to be finished.
Yeah, we're done.
Joe Biden, like, we're on the brink of World War III thanks to Joe Biden and his Democrat, anti-American communists that all work together. He's trying to actively end America. And if Donald Trump doesn't win because the Democrats steal it again, it's over. There's nothing left. And we're finished, essentially. But I did like his speech, you know. He wants to drill, baby, drill. Obviously referring to drilling for oil. And then more than likely he wants to restock the strategic reserves that he filled that Joe Biden drained just so he could bring the cost of gasoline down, which is a smart move. And since there's so much untapped oil in American soil, we'll have an excess reserve of it, and then we can sell it. And, you know, that's like prime businessman move. And that's why ultimately I support Donald Trump, is because he knows how the economy works and he knows how to make money. And he knows how to get us out of the hole to countries that hate us, like Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia. And we can start making money and bringing our debt down. And, you know, he can bring peace talks to the table between Ukraine and Russia, and as well as China and Taiwan. More than likely, he can squash that situation entirely. But, you know, Donald Trump is the man we need, not Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the man we do not need.
I couldn't agree more. And we're at 46% of the vote in. Trump with 53%. Haley with 45%, and we're just going to continue to wait. The New York Times estimate thinks that Trump's going to win with a 12-point lead, which is pretty good. I think the final RCP average had him at like 17 or 18, so it was a little off, but not that far off.
I mean, at this point, what do you think his final number might be? Do you think you were, I guess, correct?
Yeah,
because your initial number was about 55%, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's probably going to be like around 56, 57.
Yeah, I mean, I can only see his number going up and Nikki Haley's remaining stagnant or decreasing.
Yeah, because she's just such a terrible candidate. That's all there is to it.
I mean, yeah, she's a Democrat in disguise. Like, but there's no other way to describe Nikki Haley. She's a Democrat in disguise.
Yeah, that's just all there is to it.
If you vote for Nikki Haley or Joe Biden, you support any democracy. How could you?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, where is Caden? It's been like, what, 30 minutes?
Get him in here. Get him in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, get him in here. Let's go. Hurry up.
Ugh. I was not talking. Oh. Well, I guess he doesn't understand how a mic works.
Yeah, 'cause he's a moron.
Well, I've tried. You try to get to this.
No,
imbecile.
I'm managing the stream. I'm not going to deal with him and his nonsense.
He's listening. You can just tell him what to do.
Yeah, that's useless.
Well, he might listen to you.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't listen to Psycho Dad, even though I'm his father. Ugh.
So here's an interesting analytic. In the towns that have reported all or most of their votes, Republican turnout is 12% higher than in 2016.
It just means people are waking up.
Yeah.
People are waking up to the cloud of misguidedness they've been led to believe, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it is. DeSantis has over 1,000 votes. That's pretty good, isn't it? Answer. Dad.
Hello?
Where did you go?
I got disconnected because I was trying to text imbecile.
Tubby wad.
Did he leave? It looks like he did.
You know, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Well, that's helpful, isn't it?
Why don't you go clip your fingernails?
I did earlier today, actually.
Oh, really?
I did. What, you think I just let him grow like a savage animal?
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I do not. What?
Trump is now at 54% with 50% of the vote in.
Oh, man.
So it is now at a 10-point spread between the two.
It's soon to be an 11.
Isn't this just fantastic?
It is.
He's winning bigly.
And he's going to keep going up until the actual election. He's going to smoke them. Don't beat around the bush with me.
Oh please, you have total shit breath.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, and we all know you do.
You're wrong.
How am I wrong?
Wrong.
No,
Try again. You're wrong.
We all know it's shit breath.
It's not. You're lying.
You're simply not telling the truth.
You are not telling the truth. You are lying.
Anthony, you are fired.
Anthony, you are fired.
Yeah, do you want to get Caden in here?
I've given up hope and trying to help him.
Okay, should I Snapchat him and tell him to get in here?
You have to tell him if he can't figure it out. I've tried everything. He's just oblivious. You can't fix it.
This has been an honor covering the election with you guys.
The one true savior of America.
So Caden says he's joining, apparently.
He's probably full of it.
This has been one of the greatest nights of my entire life.
Oh, he's here. Talk. Talk, Caden. You have the special opportunity to preach to the world what you think. Yeah, I don't hear you.
Did Neocon ever respond?
I don't think so. Although I'm sure he wouldn't respond to me. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like me. Well, that's fine. I don't care.
Oh my god, tell Caden to go into his settings and turn on his mic.
Well, geez, he should have heard you. He should be able to figure it out. Trying to fix it right now. Well, hurry up. It's been like 30 minutes and you haven't figured it out.
Shame on you, Caden.
Shame on you. Can't figure it out.
Yeah, don't you agree this is like probably one of the best nights of your life?
It's going to be even better when he wins 2024's election.
Yeah, but as of now, though, isn't this one of the best nights of your life?
Yeah, you know what? It is.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
What's worth living if Donald Trump isn't talking to the world?
Well, there's still a lot of cities left to report.
Well, for the smaller cities, they should be able to figure it out real quick.
It was a lie. You have shit breath.
Right. Oh, is that true?
Yeah, and we all know it's true.
Stop lying.
I'm not lying about anything.
You are.
Man, what's taking them so long to count the votes?
That's what I'm saying. Hasn't polling been close for like an hour?
Let's go. Hurry up.
Jeez, are they just incompetent over there?
Must be.
They must be. They can't figure their life out. Hurry up, you. Oh, why can't Caden figure this out?
I don't know. Alright, Dad, so while we're just waiting on results to come in, what's your Michigan primary prediction?
My prediction,
Yeah, should we pull up some polls? Take a look? Maybe we can generate
Yeah.
some discussion while we're just sitting here waiting on results. Nobody can hear you. If you're talking, fix your mic. Dad. Yep, so Trump's got a 47-point lead. And now that DeSantis is out, most of that 13% will probably go to Trump. I would probably say 10% of it will probably go to Trump, 3% to Haley. So, like, we're talking about like Trump finishing with 71% of the vote. Oh, now you're here.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, so what's your Michigan primary prediction?
I mean, it's not far off from yours, considering the current poll up has DeSantis with 13.7% of the vote, and odds are most of those voters are going to Donald Trump. So he will more than likely finish with 70+%. So, like you said, it might be a 73 split almost, and that's just insanely impressive for a candidate.
Well,
and
also,
if Nikki Haley is still in the race at this point, it would be like a laughingstock embarrassment on her part to even like acknowledge it. She should give up before this occurs.
And I didn't even see that. So DeSantis in this poll has 13%, but I didn't even see that Ramaswamy was still in the poll. So we're talking about like another 3%. Like it's most likely going to go for Trump. So Michigan's going to be a blowout. Let's take a look at South Carolina and Nevada because those are coming before Michigan. So before I pull up the polls, Dad, what are your South Carolina and Nevada predictions?
My South Carolina predictions are, I want to say it would be 65 Trump, 35 Hillary.
All right, well, I have Nevada pulled up here, and the last poll that was done on January 8th had Trump 69, DeSantis 10, Ramaswamy 5, Christie 3. So that Ramaswamy and DeSantis 15 will probably go to Trump. So who are we kidding here? I don't even think there's anybody else on the ballot. Trump's going to get 100% of the vote. He's going to get all the delegates out of Nevada. Now let's take a look at South Carolina, Nikki Haley's home state.
That she wants to flex so bad about.
So right now Trump has a 30-point lead, and keep in mind this is with DeSantis still being polled and Ramaswamy. So there's 14 points right there that's probably going to go to Trump, and that'll take him from 52 to somewhere in the low to mid 60s. That's going to be really embarrassing for her to get beat in her own home state. All right, so let's go back and look at the numbers, shall we? What were you going to say?
Yeah, if the South Carolina numbers are true, that is seriously like a laughing stock embarrassment for Nikki Haley, considering every time she's asked about something that she's going to do as president, she always likes to bring up, well, when I was governor in South Carolina, I did this. Well, if you're going to use that as backing and the people of South Carolina hate you so much that your opponent has double what you have, like, that's embarrassing for you. You know what I mean?
It is embarrassing. And keep in mind, Tim Scott, he's the current senator from South Carolina. We just saw him on stage tonight. He's endorsing Trump. Lindsey Graham, the other senator from South Carolina, has also endorsed Trump. The current governor of South Carolina has endorsed Trump. So, I mean, South Carolina's just on the Trump train.
Yeah, Nikki Haley doesn't have a chance in South Carolina. Oh.
So we're now at 55%. What?
I was just asking about the vote.
Well, we're at 55%.
You just happen to be talking about
it. So with 55% of the vote in, Trump has 53, Haley 44. Pretty impressive, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, Donald Trump almost has, what? It's roughly 15,000 vote difference between both of them.
Yeah, this is
like a couple hundred.
Really impressive.
Or tonight, how good was Haley even polling in the state of New Hampshire?
I think the final poll had Trump winning by 19.
She's doing okay, right?
This was her this was her
I guess she
best.
wasn't doing that good.
This was her best chance to win a state, and she's gonna lose by double digits. So
Clearly, yeah, clearly it's not gonna happen. Geez, she should just get out and then save herself from getting embarrassed for the rest of the trail. I mean, geez, if I was the Nikki Haley shoes after tonight, I'd be like, well, you know, getting embarrassed by the true president really isn't my cup of tea, so I'm going to wait until 2020 to try and get people on my side.
So, Caden, you can type in the live chat, but you can't join the Discord, huh? Are you monitoring the live chat like I asked you to, Dad?
I can't.
What?
I can't. I told you that.
Why can't you monitor the chat?
Otherwise, I can't be in the Discord. That's why.
How did you have it pulled up earlier then?
The tablet pulled up.
Pull it up on the tablet.
It's the left chat on the screen on the tablet.
Pull it up on the
It is
tablet.
pulled up. I just pulled the tablet.
What?
It is pulled up.
Okay, open up the chat.
It's pulled. It's pulled up on the tablet.
Okay.
The
so
chat's not there.
Why is it not there?
I don't know. Probably because it's old.
Just click live chat.
That's not an option. There's no option for that on here. All right, let me see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, you figure it out.
Well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, so
What?
I'm going to the bathroom anyway, so I'll be back.
Show you the area of the state where Nikki Haley is doing the best, and that's right here. This is Grafton County. 8 years ago, this is where John Kasich did arguably the best in the entire state for his campaign. A lot of these towns along the Connecticut River, towns like Hanover, which is Dartmouth College. If you come further into the county, you find Plymouth State College. And Nikki Haley, at 63% reporting right now, has about an 8.6-point lead. Now, hang on to that thought here, okay, because I'm going to try and do something. And I'm going to take you back to Iowa, because I mentioned a moment ago, this is where we were, right? 99 counties? It was 98 for Trump. There was one for Nikki Haley, and that was right here. This is the University of Iowa, Johnson County. Why am I bringing that up now, okay? So the results are in Grafton County, and in the town of Hanover, Dartmouth College, Trump got blown out. That number at last check was 86-13. Not a ton of votes out there, but just kind of a reflection of what we saw in the University of Iowa from 8 days ago. And that seems to be some of the best success that Nikki Haley has had so far tonight. Come on down here, okay? This is where the folks live. 70% of the state, they live in these 4 counties right down here, 2 of which lie along the Massachusetts border. Okay, you're about 2/3 in. Trump's at 54% here in Hillsborough County. That's rank 1 out of 10. 30% of the state lives in Hillsborough County. A lot of suburbs there as well. So keep a track of that as we move forward into this primary battle. This is Rockingham County, right along the seacoast here. This is the home to Governor Sununu. You know, he was very public, campaigning for Nikki Haley for some time. You got a lot of the votes still out there in Rockingham County. Donald Trump holding on to a 10-point lead at 54-44. Let me zip on over here. Merrimack County, not just the county seat, but also the state capital of Concord. Little more of this votes trickling in here, and Trump seems to be hanging on to about a 6-point edge right there in Merrimack County. I was watching this county throughout the night. Nikki Haley had the edge. She had the edge. They had the edge, and Trump overtook her. We'll see whether or not that sticks. Pop down here to Cheshire County. This is a part of the state that really intriguing on the Democratic side. Bernie Sanders ran away with votes in Cheshire County. Doesn't seem to be a heartbeat really for the Republican Party there. But look what Trump's doing right now. Okay, he's up almost 14.5 points right now.
You're not gaming right now. We're
only
streaming.
44% of the vote coming in. Let
Yeah,
me
no,
try
excellent.
and check you one more. Okay. We were here the other night. This is Stratford County. They're counting pretty quickly here. Trump's at 55% with 77% of the vote counted. Now I want to just tap around here and show you. Just watch Trump's number here.
I was in there for like
As we move, this is Belknap. That's where the big rally was last night. Laconia is well above 56%. Come out here to Sullivan County. Again, this is rural toward the Connecticut River, toward Vermont. He's just shy of 55%. So he seems to be hitting his numbers in a lot, 56.5. And a lot of these counties seems to be hitting that number that may ultimately, once you get past this 59% of the estimated vote out there, that might get him from 8.5 back into double digits. We'll see as the night goes on, but that's how we kind of
Yeah, I don't
assess the
think this
matters right
thing's
now with the heat burning
gonna
here.
be getting updated.
All right, Bill, we'll head back a lot. Thank you.
All right, let's bring in our great panel. Go around the group and get some initial
So, Dad, while you were gone, I was playing a little bit of Fox's coverage, and they were doing the analytics. So that's the only thing you missed. We're at 58% of the vote in. Trump with 53, Nikki Haley 45. I have to use the bathroom, so do you want to just entertain the fans real quick while I go to the bathroom? Can you do that?
I'm gonna have to go to the YouTube app.
No, just you don't need to worry about the chat. Just talk. I'll be right back.
Oh, just talk. It's that easy. Well, does anyone have either this or the future? Well, it appears that we have John Smith saying we need Trump, and you're correct. And sir, please stop using my name. You are not me. I am the one and true John. Okay. And then on to Fig Savage's comment, Trump 2024, you're absolutely correct, and we need him. Although Fig Savage is in the Discord, so it'd be great if he would actually talk. But that's just me. Hey, Caden, you have yourself. Yourself, and we'll be on there. Well, just don't listen to my words, I guess. Fine. Oh, God. Yelling. Well, currently we're sitting at 59% of the votes in, and Donald Trump has 53.6% of the vote to Haley's 4.9%. And then, obviously, the others, including DeSantis and all of them, are taking up the remaining percentage points. But for those interested in Biden's campaign, I'm going to play those right now. Okay, so for New Hampshire's Democratic primary, Joe Biden wins New Hampshire with 43,181 your votes, which would be a total of 61.1% of the votes to Dean Phillips, 20.9%, but there was only a total of 60,000 voters for the New Hampshire Democrat primary. And to all the people who voted for Biden, I'm sorry you're challenged to the point that you think he's doing a good job, but then again, we all can't be smart individuals like all of us. But that is the Democratic primary currently going on.
Answer. Answer. Answer.
What?
Are you kidding me? I go away for 5 minutes and I ask you to talk, and you sit here and have your mic muted?
Okay, I was going to YouTube to read the chat, and they kicked me out, like I told you.
Well, we got 60% of the vote in, Trump 53, Haley 44.
Yeah, it's all but confirmed Donald Trump's going to win. Like,
It's already called
this
for.
isn't surprising.
The only thing we're already, that's not even what we're looking for. We're looking just for how big it's going to be.
It's going to be like 10, 11% difference.
Neocon must be so pissed off right now.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's crying about it. Speaking of Neocon, where is he?
He's probably
And
too
Kaden,
mad to join.
unmute your mic. I can see you muted yourself, so unmute yourself and talk. I'm like, what's end with this?
All right. Well, I mean, I think we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We're not gonna stream the whole thing because this is probably gonna be another hour or so. We've already been streaming for a while, so we're gonna end the stream. Thank you guys for watching our election coverage, And make sure you guys are here on February 6th and 8th for the Nevada primary and caucus, because we'll be covering both. And of course, we'll have tons of videos and content all throughout the way. So we'll see you guys later.